Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, December 20th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the college football playoff first round game in 2024, number 10 Indiana Hoosiers versus the number 7 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I can't wait for this game to get kicked off. We got 3 games tomorrow in the playoff, but before we get into that, let's talk about Indiana and Notre Dame. Both teams 11-1. Indiana's only loss, obviously, to Ohio State. Notre Dame looks very, very good, and I can't wait to be able to see what we're going to get here tonight. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for the college football playoff for the very first time moving forward here in 2024 and beyond. I am fucking hyped. Let's go. Oh, baby. And the thumbnail took a little bit of time to kind of get going, but I feel that, sometimes you got to be able to work on things and get it just right. We got Curtis Rourke, the QB on the left for Indiana, who's had a very successful season, 27 touchdowns, 4 picks, obviously in the regular season. And then on the right, you got Riley Leonard, 16 touchdowns, 5 picks. Really the big difference is going to be Notre Dame with that defense and being able to run the football effectively. We don't really know what we're going to get out of Indiana on the ground or on defense. Notre Dame at home, so you would assume that they will win. Can't wait to be able to see what we get. And again, I got a couple nice little logos here. We got obviously the college football playoff there. We got Indiana with a little bit of a spinning logo when they have the football. And then we got 2 for Notre Dame. We got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, a little left and right wiggle action. And then we got this new one that just came out where you have the Fighting Irish. He jumps off the screen and then it ends up going into the Fighting Irish logo with the words after. I like that one the best. So I think that's the one that we're going to keep on the stream until Indiana has the ball, and then we'll end up using this. Let's freaking go. Number 10, Indiana. Number 7, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. College football playoff. Year number 1, game number 1. Let's fucking go. I'm hyped. Let's get it. Odin in the building. What's good? STL in the building. What's good? Cole in the building. What's good? Let's go, baby. I am ready. All right, let me get everything situated with all of my screens. And then tomorrow, we're going to I'm going to watch all 3 games tomorrow, but we're going to do Tennessee and Ohio State tomorrow, same time, same place at 5 o'clock Pacific. But obviously, I'm going to be waking up super early to take Paisley on some early walks because I got to get settled in for SMU and Penn State at 9 a.m. on TNT and Cinemax. A dual broadcast, I guess, with the partnership. Then at 1 o'clock, same thing, TNT Max. You're going to have number 12 Clemson in Texas at 1 o'clock Pacific. And then we're going to be doing number 9 Tennessee versus number 8 Ohio State. Both teams are 10-2 in that matchup. Clemson 10-3, Texas 11-2. And then both teams 11-2, SMU and Penn State. So based on, upsets, we would assume there's going to be upsets at some point or another. I got Notre Dame tonight. I got Penn State tomorrow in the morning game, Texas in the afternoon game, and then I got Ohio State in the late game. So, but again, these away teams have to play out of their minds. Again, every single team that obviously has the home field advantage, it's going to be a big one. You got to feel the energy in the crowd is going to be bigger than a bowl game. It's going to feel, I don't want to say it's going to feel like a natty for every single matchup, but it kind of is because, again, it doesn't feel like, a regular holiday bowl. It's going to give you more of like a Big Ten championship feel or like a natty feel on every single playoff game because this is the first time ever in college football where you actually feel that if you make the playoff, you have a chance to go all the way. Now, of course, if you're SMU, your chances are almost slim to none, and you might have the least likely path to be able to get there. But just being able to represent as one of the teams, in the playoff is awesome. And again, it's not just Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and then every 5 years, LSU and Clemson have championship-worthy teams. But if you're not one of those 6 teams regularly, you're fucked. So it's kind of nice now that, everyone's got a fair shake at it, and we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But we got, obviously, number 10, Indiana, number 7, Notre Dame, and I am ready. Let's go, baby. And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 if we get some volume. The faster that we can get to 20, obviously we can hit the algorithm, but it all depends on who shows up and who supports. And obviously we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. Well, I'm not streaming all 3 games tomorrow. The only game I'm going to stream is the Tennessee and Ohio State. I got to make sure that, since I'm got to be the CEO, I got to be the boss. I got to be able to make, proper decisions. I want to make sure I'm, spending time with Paisley as well. And I want to make sure that my hard work is appreciated. I don't think people realize, what it takes, to be able to do this type of job full time. Like, how much prep goes involved, before you start every stream. It's not like you just hit go and then you're ready to go. There's a lot of prepping involved. Thumbnails usually take an hour, and then you have to, read up on the players, get all acclimated with the stats, and then making sure that you have all the graphics and everything set up the right way. So, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of energy. And again, I want to make sure that my time and my energy is appreciated. All right, baby. Notre Dame Fighting Irish 10-0 since that loss to NIU, which they shouldn't have lost that game. But again, shit happens. Indiana obviously lost to Ohio State, a team that was better than them, in a stream that I did a few weeks back at 9 in the morning. It was probably our earliest stream that we've had on the channel in a minute. But I got to, kind of scout Indiana to see what they were about. And again, they're going to have to get off to a fast start. They're going to have to score first. They're going to have to win the turnover battle. They're going to have to win the time of possession. And they're going to have to get a little bit lucky. Because again, winning in Notre Dame, almost impossible. And now you have the college football playoff. Both teams 11-1. I feel like Notre Dame's 11-1 stacks up. I think Indiana's 11-1 is a little fugazi. It's a little fake, and I'm really happy that they had a fantastic year this year, typically being a college basketball school. But as you guys know, as they added on more teams into the Big Ten and the SEC, a lot of the teams in the middle and the bottom are pretty soft and shitty. Again, like I mentioned, I thought the Pac-12, who always got shit on, we had a better top to bottom roster team-wise than almost every conference in college football, but people didn't want to admit it. And then after we broke up the Pac-12, you had Utah and Arizona State go to the Big 12. Arizona State ended up winning the Big 12. They were projected to finish last. That shows you the depth that we have in the previous conference in the Pac-12. Obviously, Oregon coming into the Big Ten year number 1, winning the division. And again, if it's going to be like this, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy for Oregon every year, to finish at the top. But again, if we were in the Big Ten like Ohio State back in the day and we actually had a decent coach, I definitely think that, it would be very easy to be like Ohio State and Michigan in the past, because there's just a lot of teams that are in the middle and the bottom that really aren't very good. But again, they don't want to bring that up. They just want to be able to talk about, being one of those top 4 teams that normally wins it all. Ohio State, Michigan, Bama, Georgia, but times have changed. Let's go. Megan with a 10er. Oh, awesome. That's always good news. And I think I saw that, a little bit later. I think you sent the information last night, but I went on a walk with Paisley, and then I ended up watching some shows and fell asleep. So congratulations on that. And obviously that's going to be a lot easier on your pocketbook. And obviously, migraines are nothing to play around with. So I'm very happy for you. Go Irish, $10 holla. And again, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support to the channel. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 10:90 to go. Thank you so much for your support. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, and then tomorrow's games, for the NFL, they're on early. They're on at 10 a.m. and at 1:30. So when we do Tennessee, Ohio State, people can still come through and hang out at 5 o'clock Pacific. But I'll be watching Texans and Chiefs at 10 a.m. as well as Steelers, Ravens at 1:30. So look at the towels being waved. I love the fucking energy. And again, every college football playoff game is going to feel like a Big Ten championship game, an SEC championship game, or like the Natty, or like the Rose Bowl. It feels different. It's special. And again, I've been waiting my whole entire life for something like this. I wasn't really happy with the BCS. Then we ended up doing this other format, where it really only favored like 4 teams, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. For the first time ever, it feels like it's up for grabs. I fucking love it. And again, there may be some upsets, and we might be on upset alert at some point in this college football playoff. But I got Notre Dame here winning tonight, but I hope the game is very, very close. Captain with a $5. Appreciate you. STL with a $5. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. We're at 20. And here we go. Fair caught. And let me know what you guys want to do photo-wise, and I gotcha. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Go Irish, baby. Let's go. STL. Hey, Amazon, they're going to give you a call, but I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Once we go to commercial break, I'll try to squeeze in some photos for y'all. Let's get it, baby. We're at 20, 80 to go. Oh, no worries. I would be excited about that news as well, especially if it's something that touches home, as with you and with those issues that you've had, and hopefully things will get better for you. Obviously, pocketbook wise. Shotgun set, handoff up the gut. Notre Dame says, "Sit the fuck down." Oh baby, Notre Dame bringing that energy and swagger right out of the gates. The crowd is going wild. Both teams located in Indiana, obviously with Notre Dame, South Bend. Can't wait to be able to see the Battle of Indiana. And again, Indiana has to make sure they don't get too cute out there. They were working with a silent count against Ohio State. That fucking shit didn't work. So again, you have to understand, you're the underdog. You can't play cute. You got to make sure that you get into field goal range more times than not. And let's see if they can move the chains at least a couple times here against Notre Dame in the first quarter, first drive. Floater towards the sideline. One-handed grab attempt and complete. Let's go. Third down and 13. Rourke pass incomplete. And that wasn't even close to the first down marker. If it's third down and 13, why the hell are you throwing an 8-yard pass? That is not going to get the job done against fucking Notre Dame. And again, I feel like I've mentioned this before, I feel there's only really 3 teams, prior to me hearing the injury status with Beck being out for Georgia, but it still feels like Georgia, Texas, Oregon, those are the 3 that are most likely to be able to get it done. And then the 2 wild card teams that I have is Ohio State and this Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I think those are the 5 teams that have the best chance to be able to get it done. And then if I'm going to throw in a 6th team, I probably would say Penn State. Big Ten represent. Indiana with the punt. All right, Riley Leonard. Let's see what he can do. All right, I got you. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. The faster that we can get to 20, the faster that we can hit this into the algorithm. And you just never know, at whatever point that we're going to end up getting that push. We could go from 10 to 50 people in the room all the way up to a couple hundred, just like that. So if you haven't done it yet, please do. All right, looks like we're 2 away from 10. Let's get it, baby. Shotgun set. Leonard, hands off. Indiana with some good defense right out of the gate. Loss of 2. Jeremiah Love got to be rumbling and a bumbling. Yeah, if we can keep track of the likes and the donos on the chat itself, it'd be greatly appreciated. Shotgun set for Leonard. Moves Love over. Shotgun set. Looking. Good protection. Tipped. Intercepted! And that's exactly what Indiana needed to get off to a good start. Wow. Hoosiers with an early tipped interception. And these weird lucky plays are going to have to be needed for Indiana to kind of keep themselves in the game. Now, can you actually score off the turnover? We'll have to wait and see. But good pressure up front. And obviously, the good players are taught to put your hands up on the D-line. You never know when you might get a deflection just like that, tipped in the air, and a great awareness by Indiana to get the pick. Wow. Pons with the pick. Angelo, I see you. Oh, my. Not the start for Riley Leonard that we wanted. First down and 10 for Rourke. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Hand off up the gut. Still testing Notre Dame's run defense. Flag on the play. Ooh, holding on the offense. They got to hit you with the Mo Bamba. I mean, that's going to be the one that you got to have no matter what. Every single matchup in college will have Mo Bamba in the background. You got to. It's like the universal, bring the energy, bring the heat. I mean, you're going to get young people. You're going to get grown-ups. You're going to even get the grandmas and grandpas getting lit for the Mo Bamba. The Leshek West. Handoff up the middle. Short game. Good defense there by Notre Dame. Lawton with a 3-yard gain. Yeah, I know you'll be able to get me when you can get me. No worries, bro. Second down and 17 on the Notre Dame 48. Shotgun set for Rourke. Hands off. Still trying to run those dives and counters, but Notre Dame isn't falling for it. Good defense by the Irish. Gain of 3, 3rd and 14 on the Notre Dame 45. See if I can sprinkle in photos here for Megan while we're still in-game action. I got to be able to multitask very quickly. So let's squeeze in a couple here while we can, and I'll get her other regulars at a moment. Appreciate you. I got to be able to take advantage of every single second that we have. 3rd down and 14. I mean, this is like the first time that Indiana has been on the map football-wise. It's kind of cool. Floater towards the sideline. Wow! Surratt with the catch. Are you fucking kidding me? First down, Hoosiers. Move the chains. Wow. Insane. Rourke. Intercepted. Oh, my. It's a pick party. Oh, my. Notre Dame answering back. Oh. Let's go. I'm going to try to squeeze in as many photos as I can here for Megan first, and then we'll get all of yours in here as well. All right, squeezing photos now for all the people that donated. SVU, fantastic show. Waiting for some new episodes to come through since obviously the one where he ended up getting hostage and whatnot, but hopefully we'll end up getting something new. Get a couple more of Megan's favorites here as well. Appreciate you, Megan, for starting it off, and then we'll get Captain and SPL underway as well. Appreciate you very, very much. Let's see if I can throw in. At least one more here for you. And then I got to make room and delete these and get some more photos up. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for your support. All right, let's see if we can get these moved out of the way. Lots of button clicking here. And then we get Riley Leonard up here as well. Appreciate the three of you so far. Interception by Indiana, interception by Notre Dame. It's going to go down to the wire, baby. See if I can get at least one more here for Riley. Appreciate you guys so much. And then a little bit of Reed, Timma. I got you. I got to work fast. First red zone interception. My goodness. Appreciate you. I'll get a few more here once we get more time. Let me get them loaded. Yeah, the defenses are going to be pretty tough. So I would want this game to be in the 20s or the 30s, but there is a possibility that, one team might not get over. Oh, down the sideline, the 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown! Oh my fucking God. Well, I guess that's how it's done, huh? How are we going to be able to get points? Well, Jeremiah Love says, hey, how about a fucking 98-yard rushing touchdown down the sideline, and I'm faster than your fastest player. Bang, baby. Oh, my. Let's go. Oh, my. You fucking kidding me? Unbelievable. You fucking shitting me? Special player. Extra point is up and good. 7-0. Fighting Irish. Jeremiah Love. Don't forget that name. I know we won't here. Oh, my. That's exactly what I needed. What a spark. Look at the blocking up front as well. He said out the gate for 98. He said night, night, sleep, sleep. Wow, longest run in school history. He said, night, night, 98 yards. Setting the tone. I love it. Nice job. Oh, my. I mean, I figured we would get one team that could probably get into the 20s, and I figured that maybe if we had to choose one team that might not hit over 20, could be Indiana. You know, they could end up being in that 17, 18, 19 range. You know, you never really know, but Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, oh my. Let's go through the photos here again. Appreciate the three of you so far getting us off to a good start. Man, unbelievable. Night, night, they said. All right, Indiana, your turn. They're like, let's see if we can do it on our end. Nope. Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. Yeah, I was reading an article about him this morning as well. They were talking about in a couple years, when he ends up going to the NFL, that he could end up being a very eye-opening prospect. And obviously, when you can end up getting a 98-yard touchdown in the college football playoff in the very first game in its existence, that's a pretty good way for people to remember you. I mean, a lot of us are going to remember that forever. And Ellison. Transfer from Wake Forest, almost to the first down marker, 3rd down and 2. Yeah, and let's be honest, how many 98-yard touchdowns have we seen when the running back is lined up into the end zone, in their own end zone? It's like you rarely see that in the NFL or college football. Like maybe a couple times a season, Man in motion. Shotgun set. Rourke. Hands off. And they're not going to give up on the run. There you go. First down. Hoosiers. Move the chains. First down and 10 on the Indiana 39, 7-0 Irish. Yeah, especially since Clyde Edwards-Helaire and that project didn't work out with the PTSD. Ended up getting picked up by the Saints. And yeah, Chiefs will be looking for other running backs in the future to pair up with Pacheco for sure. Pass, incomplete tip. Leonard Moore almost with the pick there for the Irish. 2nd down and 10 on the IU 39. I don't think the passing game for Indiana is bad. I just, and if you're talking about in general or this particular game, but I mean, Notre Dame, you're on the road. It's a college football playoff. It feels like a Big Ten championship or like a Rose Bowl or a Natty. Everyone's going against you. Again, they had a hard time matching up with Ohio State. But look, oh, baby, rumbling and a bumbling. First down, Hoosiers. Lawton, move the chains. Nice job by Lawton there. But again, as each team feels each other out, again, there's a lot of nerves since this is the very first college football playoff game, and there'll be a lot of nerves tomorrow in the 3 games as well. So, once they start feeling a little bit more comfortable, with the setting and everything that's going on, we should be able to see some more big plays from not only Notre Dame, but also the Hoosiers. Man in motion, shotgun set for Rourke. And again, this team had a good record, but they didn't really beat anybody, And when they played Ohio State, they tried to keep it close for a couple quarters, and then Ohio State pulled away. But again, they were going with a silent count, which didn't work, and they're not going to do that here today. They learned their lesson. We're at 20, 80 to go. Yeah, no worries, STL. I mean, if that's a passion of yours and you want to be able to represent that, I don't have a problem with that. You know, we do a little bit of everything. Sarah in the building, what's good? Did you get a chance to see that 98-yard touchdown by Jeremiah Love? That was ridiculous. Shotgun set, handoff, and the Irish give him a pounding. Lawton, 1 yard gain, 3rd down and 8 on the Notre Dame 37. But I just feel like college football has been so good this year. I get a little bit more excited watching college football than the NFL. I never really thought it would be like that, but that's where we're at right now. Floater and complete. I don't know. I just think the fans cheer harder. You know, you got the band, you got the cheerleaders, you got the young kids, you got the adults, you got the grandmas and grandpas. I feel like college football is going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's never going to be bigger than the NFL, you know, because of the way the NFL markets and whatnot. But as far as like enjoyment factor, like, do you play NCAA football or do you play Madden for video games? Madden is slow, sometimes boring, like the NFL. College football, a little bit faster, a little bit more upbeat, a little bit funner to play. And I feel college football is kind of the same, you know, especially with the college football playoff. You know, it's going to make up for all those bad games that we saw in the regular season where we saw a top 25 team going against an unranked team, and it ends up being like a 50-3 kind of game. With this college football playoff and every single game being, you know, just off the chain, that's going to make up for, you know, a lot of those games during the regular season where if you watched your favorite team or another team, you know, play kind of a beatdown game, now this will end up kind of making up for all of those shit games that we ended up putting ourselves through. And now moving forward, every single game is going to not only feel like a playoff game, but a Big Ten SEC championship game, a Rose Bowl, or a Natty. And it truly does feel a little bit bigger than just a regular first-round matchup. So, and again, I think the energy from the fans, too, it's going to be a little bit more intense than even the NFL playoff until we get to, like, the AFC, NFC championship game, and then obviously the Super Bowl. Let's go. All right, Notre Dame, your turn. Seven, 0 Irish. Let's go, baby. And I like the way that the thumbnail turned out, and I'm really digging this Fighting Irish, you know, little icon. You know, I'm always looking to be able to, you know, find, you know, spinning logos, you know, or, you know, something like this. You know, but it's always kind of nice when you can find something original like this one, probably one of the better ones with the Ducks for my team. I'm really digging this Notre Dame Fighting Irish one as well. Number 10, Indiana. Number 7, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 7-0, 7 minutes to go. Let's get it, baby. Love it. And it gives you know, fans an opportunity to learn more about all of these other teams. You know, it's like no one really is going to go out of their way and watch every single game of SMU unless you're a fan of that particular college. But, you know, now that we get them in the college football playoff, you know, it'll give an opportunity for that school to shine, the head coach to shine, as well as their players. And, you know, even if it ends up being a lower name team like SMU, you know, they might have a couple NFL players there, and they might end up on your favorite team next year or the following year. So it's always nice to be able to evaluate this talent, and that's my favorite thing to do. Watch film, read, you know, get all the bios and all the information, the stat and the analytics, but watching film, watching games, and being able to, you know, break down talent. And what a better way with the college football playoff in 2024 and beyond. Let's go. Yeah, they're normally on NBC, and I used to watch them when I was a little kid too. Like one of my, you know, old first starter jackets was a Notre Dame Fighting Irish starter jacket from back in the day. So I've been familiar with Notre Dame a lot. Handoff up the middle. Short game. Yeah, and that's probably maybe why you haven't seen them, because you probably don't, click on NBC for, their games and whatnot. But, every few seasons, they'll end up having, a team that, could go all the way or, at least make it to the championship game. And again, for a team that's not in a conference, recruiting isn't going to be the same as it was with Lou Holtz, back in the day in like the 80s and 90s, but they still find, a lot of people that want to be a part of the tradition of the blue and the gold. That's incomplete to Jordan Faisal. 3rd down and 5 on the Notre Dame 21. 3rd down and 6. I don't even know where it is. I usually know where all of my stuff is. It's packed somewhere in a box or in a closet somewhere, but I know I've moved it from different houses that I've lived in, but I don't even think it would necessarily fit me anymore. I think it's like a medium, obviously, because I wore it when I was a kid. There we go. 1st down, Irish. But I had a Charlotte Hornets one, like who didn't, right? I had a Chicago White Sox one, and then obviously I had that Notre Dame Fighting Irish one. 1st down, Notre Dame, move the chains. Pass complete to Collins, 10 yards, move the chains. Yeah, just like Stanford, education first. But they got some athletes though. You'll get some pro baseball players. You'll get some NFL players. You'll get a little bit of everything there. A good tackle there by the Hoosiers. No gain there for Price. $111 yards to 68 yards. Notre Dame having the edge. And I know a lot of people were questioning the hire, when they ended up getting their, new coach. But so far, it looks like things are panning out very smoothly. Little check down, screen. Ooh, good tackle to prevent the 1st down there. Jadarian Price, gain of about 7 or 8. 3rd down and 2 at the Notre Dame 39, 7-0 Irish. All right, no worries, man. You've been working hard. Do your thing. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 so that way we can hit that algorithm sooner than later. And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Handoff up the gut for that 1st down. Move the chains. Aeneas Williams, 5-yard gain. 1st down, Fighting Irish. And the bots have been pretty heavy on the college football and the NFL season this year. Shotgun set. Leonard. Oh, he fumbled it. Oh, my. Oh, my God. If Indiana had a player there, that could have been huge. Good recovery and awareness there by Notre Dame to scoop that up. That could have been really, really bad. That could have literally been a scoop and a score based on where the ball is at. Look at that. It's right there. Oh, my God. And luckily enough, they have another receiver just, in the right spot, luckily. And again, you had 2 Indiana players behind him, but wow. I mean, that could have easily been a scoop and a score, and maybe that would have been the thing that got Indiana back into this game and got Uncle Mo to go from Notre Dame to Indiana. Yeah, we got NFL games on tomorrow at 10 and 1. 3 college football playoff games. I'll be watching everything. And then we will be streaming Tennessee and Ohio State at 5. So it's going to be a long, long, busy day for me. Multiple screens, lots of football, college and NFL. I'll be evaluating talent and obviously, making sure I dot my I's and cross my T's. I can't wait. A lot of work, but it'll be fun to watch. Shotgun set. Leonard, plenty of time. Protection breaks down. First down, Irish. Move the chains. Leonard to Evans on that previous play. Recovered by Faison with that fumble recovery earlier. 7-0 Fighting Irish. And Indiana, again, it's a nice story for them this season, but a little bit outmatched, in this particular college football playoff. They tried to hang with Ohio State. I did that stream a few weeks back. And then there are some key pieces, on Indiana where, they can hang around. But again, hanging around and winning a game are two totally different things. The 11-1 for Indiana, it seems a little fugazi because the Big Ten is a little soft, with some of the teams in the middle and the bottom. Notre Dame obviously being independent and having a little bit more of a strength of schedule. They're a little bit more trustworthy in this college football playoff. Shotgun set for Riley Leonard. Pressure, screen pass, blockers downfield, breaks one tackle, breaks another. First down, Irish. Move the chains. I mean, just imagine if Notre Dame had Kyron Williams still on the team. But I mean, you got Jeremiah Love, so I mean, you're still getting that excitement, from the running back position. So, and I'm definitely going to be keeping more tabs on Notre Dame players, moving forward. Trips left, shotgun set, one running back in the backfield. Leonard with the audible, shift out the line. Flag on the play. False start. Offense. Number 88. Repeat third down. What's Mitchell Evans doing? He's dancing a little bit there. You got to get set, my guy. First down and 15 on the IU 35, 7-0 Notre Dame. First down and 15, shotgun set, hand off. Go, baby, go. Break that tackle. Break another tackle. Let's go. First down, Irish. Move the chains. 16-yard gain for Jadarian Price. First down, Irish. We got some athletes out there. Oh, there's going to be holding on every play. It just depends on when they decide to call it. But Notre Dame is always going to be known for, athletic pieces on the offense, big bodies on that offensive line. Usually they'll have some guys that go pro on that end. And every once in a while, you'll have a couple guys defensively as well that'll be able to make it to the next level. They may not end up having the illustrious NFL career that they wanted, like Manti Te'o, but they still were one of the best at that time in college during that period. But tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, yeah, you're going to see a few. All right, first quarter winding down, and it was a good one. End of the first quarter, 7-0 Notre Dame. And if you just are tuning in, you missed a 98-yard run by Jeremiah Love when they were in their own end zone and ran it all the way down the sideline. No one could catch him. Even the guys that had good, pursuit angles couldn't even get the angle to get him out of bounds. 7-0 Fighting Irish. He said, night, night. All right, start of the second quarter here. Let's see what Riley Leonard can do. Shotgun set. Leonard, good protection. Let's it go. Hit him with the shimmy and the shake. Almost a first down. 3rd down and 1 on the Notre Dame set, or IU 7. Excuse me. Just a couple plays away from getting this lead to be 14-0. Jordan Faison, NCAA champion in lacrosse. Nice. Athlete. Third down and 1. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Leonard said, let me run it myself. There we go. First down, Irish. Move the chain. I mean, I think the home teams, in this college football playoff, they have a huge advantage. I don't even think that any of the road teams really, I want the games to be close. I don't want necessarily any blowouts, right? But, in this particular matchup, and then Penn State hosting SMU, Texas hosting Clemson, and Ohio State hosting Tennessee, I just don't see any road team, in this first round winning. As we get into the next round, that's when you might end up getting a road team to win, but I don't see any road teams winning, this weekend or today. It'll take a miracle. It's not impossible, but a lot would have to go right, and a lot would have to go wrong for the hosting team, the home team. 2nd and goal, good defense there on the IU 5. Darian Price, run of a loss of 2. Yeah, no false start. I don't know what's going on, if they're just keeping the whistle in the back pocket. Shotgun set, Leonard. Floater, he's open, touchdown, Irish. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Thomas with the tutty. Riley Leonard, I see you. Jaden Thomas, 5-yard receiving touchdown. 13-0, Irish. Extra point is up and good. All right, baby. Jaden Thomas, I see you. Look at those. You got Golden Tate. You got Cole Kmet. Oh, what up, Jaden? Let's go. Let's go. Nice job. 14-0 Irish. Indiana, you need to score, and you need to score quick. Good play calling there by the Irish. Yeah, Goldschmidt can go to the Yankees. We don't want him. Too old. Not very productive last year. If the Yankees want to waste their money, they can waste their money. No thanks for the Mariners. We don't want them. Fair caught. Yeah, we wouldn't want to waste money on a player like that. You know, we got plenty of young guys in the farm system, and, you know, it'd be better off trying to find someone that's not a big name that can put up bigger numbers. And that way we don't spend as much money on a player like that. So, you know, even if the Mariners were interested, go ahead and go to New York. You know, go to the Yankees instead. We don't need you. (14-0) Notre Dame. Shotgun set for Curtis Rourke. Come on, baby. 1 sec. I got to reformat everything here. Rourke with that nice throw. Give me 1 sec here. Oh, nice run. Get that first down. First down, Hoosiers. Justice Ellison for 15 yards to the Notre Dame 49. First down and 10. Run for no gain to the Notre Dame 49. Second down and 10. Good angle there. Third down and 10. Rourke pass incomplete on the Notre Dame 49. Come on, Indiana. You got to fight. Shotgun set. Rourke. Wow. Almost a diving pick. Fourth down. Very questionable play call right there for Indiana. But again, they had a kind of a fugazi soft schedule, and yeah, you can go 11-1. It's like Oregon next year doesn't have Ohio State or Michigan, and I'm not happy about that. Like, if Oregon wins the Natty this year, they could go undefeated next year. Like, really, the only hard team they play next year is at Penn State, just like this year when we had at Ohio State. But at least we had the Boise State win, top 25, and Illinois this year. But again, when you're in the Big Ten or in the SEC, there's going to be, teams at the top and then a few in the middle. But, if you actually look at, kind of closer to the bottom and what they end up having in some of those divisions, there's a lot of like easy games, again, it's not going to be easy for everyone, but if you're one of the top schools, like I said, and I don't like that one bit. Like, I want to be battle tested. I want to play Ohio State. I want to play Michigan, and I want Penn State every fucking year, But the way that so many teams in the Big Ten now, it's like it seems like there's like fucking 18, 19, 20 fucking teams in there. Not every year, you're going to be able to get what you want. And some years are going to have really tough schedules, and others are going to be really, really soft. And again, if Oregon wins the Natty this year, there's a really good chance they're going to win it again next year, just based off the schedule alone. So, but we'll find out. 14-0 Notre Dame. All right, Irish, your turn. Mitchell with the first down. Yeah, the Huskies have obviously your team is not in the same position like Oregon, right now. And then obviously looking at the schedule next year, it's going to be extremely hard for you guys next year. If you thought the schedule this year was hard for the Huskies, it's even harder next year, especially since Oregon doesn't have Ohio State and Michigan on the schedule, which kind of pisses me off, actually. If we lose to those schools, so be it. But I want the matchup, I want to be able to prove that we can hang with anyone, that no division is, out of reach. No team is, too much for us. And, we'll just have to wait until the college football playoff and the Big Ten championship, things of that nature, I guess. And it's going to seem a hell of a lot harder for the teams like Iowa and Washington. Nice hurdle, because again, if your teams are kind of 500 and then you have to play Oregon now on top of Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State, that's a lot of losses. It's like you already got quite a few kind of teams at the top, and then let alone if you end up dropping a game to one of the teams that's kind of equal to you or similar to you, like a Iowa or Wisconsin or a Washington or a USC. It's going to be very, very difficult to be able to, do well in the Big Ten unless you end up getting an elite coach. That's really the only way that it's going to, the shift will change. You have to have an elite coach and elite recruiting, and if you don't, pass incomplete. You're just not going to be able to keep up with the big boys. You could still end up having a successful season. You could still end up going to a bowl game. You could still have players go to the NFL. But as long as it's Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State for every other team in the Big Ten, you're going to have a team like Indiana, in the future. And I guess that's going to be the goal. Washington and Iowa, you're going to have to hope that you have a dream season like Indiana and maybe not have everyone on the schedule that particular year and then go like 11-1 or 10-2, something of that nature. Notre Dame with the punt. Yeah, Michigan had a down year, but they could still end up beating Washington or Iowa or a lot of the teams that are in the middle, like Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana. Obviously Illinois was in the top 25 for a little bit, but they were beatable, But even though Michigan had a down year, they beat Ohio State, and that's all that matters. They weren't going to win the Natty. They don't have Harbaugh anymore. The team wasn't as good. People left. People transferred out. And, even though the team wasn't a championship caliber team, at the end of the day, if you can't win it all and you can't win the Big Ten, what do you want to do? Beat the fuck out of Ohio State if you're Michigan. They did. So to them, the season was not good, but at least they finished off on a high note beating their rival, right? And kind of ruined Ohio State's season. But even though, Ohio State lost and had that second loss, they still have a chance to get a little bit of redemption and be one of those teams that might go further than people think. 14-0 Notre Dame. Come on, Indiana. And this is why, I felt that you can have an 11-1 record, and it's all fine and dandy, but when they went against Ohio State, I knew they weren't going to win. And it's cool to be able to have that magical season beating up on teams that are shitty. But again, if you're going to go 11-1, did you play Ohio State? Did you play Oregon? Did you play Penn State? you play Michigan? Did you play, any of the teams that, are worth a damn? And if you skated by on an easy schedule and their one loss was Ohio State, and then you get exposed when you end up playing a true, real 11-1 team. Indiana has an 11-1 record, but they're playing like an 8-4 team. They play sometimes they play well, but they have, holes in their team, and so the record is a little fugazi, especially in this college football playoff. You might have some teams that are both 10-2, but one is the real deal that actually played tough teams, and the other might have had an easy schedule. And, if you have an easy schedule, you will get exposed. We're at 20, 80 to go. Thank you. It's the Natty jersey from 2010 with the BCS patch that I ended up getting on eBay, took it to a seamstress, got it sewn on, and then I got the James sewn on the back. Well, Michael, that's my guy. And being able to, take a jersey to get it, a name sewn in the back, it takes the college jersey to another level because college jerseys typically don't have the names on the back. And, usually if you end up having a swaggy college jersey, people will notice. And it wasn't that expensive to the seamstress to be able to get James sewn on with the same type of, lettering and font. It was maybe $3 to $5 per letter. And then getting the BCS patch from the game, was probably like $15-20, something like that back in the day in like 2010. So I think I paid a total for the James on the back and the patch. It was probably less than $50. But then it takes the jersey to a whole nother level where now it's like a very collectible, like $200 jersey, but I'll never sell it. So, and it looks a hell of a lot better compared to some of the jerseys I've seen that don't have the BCS patch or the name on the back. Just takes it to that next level. As authentic as you can get it. Nice tackle there by Notre Dame. Good stuff. Yeah, but unfortunately with some of the jerseys, you can only put 5 letters. So if the player has more than 5 letters in their last name, then it's not going to fit. Because if you use smaller font, if you use like a smaller lettering, it looks weird. So you have to make sure you use the proper size lettering as they do in college football. So like when I had my D'Anthony Thomas, I couldn't fit Thomas because it was 6 letters. So then I had to do Mamba for Black Mamba, his nickname. So you got to be creative. Rourke over the middle. There we go. So at first down, Hoosiers. Now, what the Hoosiers need to do is not abandon the run, but they're going to have to go deep, right? You're going to have to go deep to try to threaten a PI on Notre Dame secondary, test the secondary. And again, they do have athletes at receiver that can make the play. Shotgun set, Rourke. Pass incomplete. Good coverage there. And there's a flag. You want to make sure that you're not giving up on the, throwing the ball with Rourke. Obviously had that pick, and that wasn't ideal. But again, you're never going to get back in this game by just running halfback dives and halfback counters. You're going to have to try to test Notre Dame secondary, maybe get a couple, lucky penalties to go your way, and then a couple big plays. And obviously, you got to get on the board. You got to get at least 3 before halftime. Automatic first down. I don't know. My ESP is good, man. Like the sports gods, I'll have dreams, or I'll just, have like messages, that just, I don't know. And then I'll just end up saying something. And then a lot of times it'll happen like right away or a couple plays later or later in the game. It just kind of depends on what the situation is. Also, too, I watch a lot of film and, history repeats itself. You just got to notice. Rourke. Sideline incomplete. And Rourke's got to have a little bit more time. Obviously, defensive line is good for Notre Dame getting pressure on Indiana, but he's going to have to be a little bit quicker with his reads, going through his first, second, and third progression. But you got to go deep. Throw the fucking football. But you don't want to give up on the run either. You don't want to become one-dimensional, because if you end up being one-dimensional, Indiana is going to put up 13 points or less this whole entire game. I mean, you're already at halftime at a 0. Almost there. You got to get on the board. Shotgun set. There we go. I like that call. There we go. Go. I like that. First down, Hoosiers. So you can run a little RPO, little, fake run. That, kind of freezes the linebackers in the secondary because they're cluing. And cluing is when you use your eyes to stare at the quarterback's eyes to see where he's going to go with the football. But elite quarterbacks can redirect their eyes where they can be looking one way, but in their peripheral vision, they might see someone else. So there's certain quarterbacks, that can stare one way, but they're going to throw in the opposite direction, and that will fool the defenses. But for some of these guys in college, they'll just stare down their receiver or tight end, and then if that's the case and you get a good jump on the throw, then you can end up getting a pick six or get good coverage. So that's really what separates, the good from the great and the elite. But the great defensive players are going to be cluing. He doesn't have a visor on, so you can look at his eyes all day, and we'll see if he ends up telegraphing where he's going with the football. Should have ran an RPO with Rourke right there. Second down. This is the best position they've been in here. 3rd down and 5 on the Notre Dame 17. And I wouldn't mind, them, running, like a jet sweep. You're going to have to kind of mix up the play calling a little bit. But again, if you're going to be running it up right up the middle, with the dives and counters, that's not going to work. You have to be able to utilize the speed that you have against Notre Dame, and that's going to be on the outside. You're going to have to try to hit the edges or run jet sweeps. Any play that ends up in the middle of the field, that's not going to work. They've already proven that they're very stout up front. 4th down and 4. And if this is me right here, I take the 3. I take the field goal. But again, I'm not Indiana's coach. So if they want to, risk it all and get let down, if they don't get this first down, then that's on them. But again, I would take the 3. And again, don't run it up right up the middle like a fucking idiot. You run it up with a dive or a counter, it's only going to gain 1 to 3 yards. You're not going to get the first down. Maybe even a tackle for loss. You got to be able to be a little bit more creative. Trips right, trips left, little bubble screen with the 2 guys blocking in front of you, a jet sweep, a reverse. You got to be able to utilize the speed that you have and use, what players you have against their weaknesses, which they don't really have a whole lot. But if you're going to make big plays, it's got to be on the outside. Again, running up the gut is not going to work. And it will work, occasionally. But again, if you've noticed, like how many runs up the gut has Indiana had positive yards? Maybe 1 or 2 out of like 15. So it's possible, that you can get a 10 to 15 yard rush up the gut if the blocking is good enough, or if some of the Notre Dame players fall down or get held. But that's the difference between good coaching and bad coaching. You got to figure it out. And hopefully they're smart right here and they'll end up kicking the field goal. Because the last thing that you want is to get the ball all the way down there and then go for it, and then you get nothing. And then Notre Dame drives all the way down the field, gets a field goal or a touchdown, and then instead of being down 14-3, then all of a sudden you're down 17-0 or 21-0, and then you have no fucking chance of coming back. So too early. Obviously, with the interim, he's doing a decent job, but he won't be the guy. And there's going to be a lot of firings, at the end of the year as well. And, there'll be some college coaches that'll be under some consideration of jobs also, as well as offensive and defensive coordinators that are going to get an opportunity to be a head coach, like Ben Johnson, obviously for the Lions as offensive coordinator, and then a few others, right? We've seen a couple of these guys, rumored for jobs, Texans coordinator, Lions coordinator, Buccaneers coordinator. There's going to be quite a few, so I'm not really sure what direction that they're going to go. But, I wish the best, for the organization, and I hope that they end up getting good. I want it to be the Saints, Bucks, Falcons, battling it out. And, and then hopefully one day the Panthers will be respectable and we can have 4 teams that aren't a laughing stock, like we just don't want the Panthers to be like the worst team in football. So, AFC South, NFC South, not very good this year. But again, with Michael Penix Jr. starting the rest of the way, the transition has started. I don't think you're going to see Kirk Cousins starting at quarterback ever again. And, we'll see where that goes. But again, every team has holes. Even the Buccaneers, we could use a few more guys on the O-line and the defense. But we're looking like we're going to cash in and win the NFC South title 4 years in a row. And Saints were the best team prior to that, for 3, 4, 5 years. And now it's Tampa's turn. Indiana making the smart decision with the field goal, even if they don't trust their kicker. This is the correct choice, even if he misses it. He's 10 for 11, 34-yard attempt. Only missed one, but this is a harsh environment. But he's in the middle hash, so he's got a good opportunity here if the snap is good and the hold is good. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up right down the middle, and it's good. Good decision by the Hoosiers, not being dumb, going for it. There you go. It's not pretty. And, 14-3, 3 points sucks compared to touchdowns. But it's a hell of a lot better than getting a 0 and then having the team drive down and score on you. So, again, I don't really think Indiana is going to have a chance to win the game, but they can at least be respectable in this game. Well, Ryan got banned yesterday, but he sent a dono, so I guess we'll put it up on the screen. He's trying to get back into the good graces on the channel. But again, it's not just about the donos. Again, like, I need donos to continue to be able to do this channel the correct way. But again, it shows you, it's like, regardless if someone donos or if they never dono, again, like, having chat etiquette and listening and respecting what we're doing here on the channel, that's more important than any amount of money that I can get from somebody. But we will acknowledge the $5 dono. I have not decided if he will be back. He's on probation right now, and we'll see. We'll see how things go. Moving forward, and if he'll be a part of the channel. And normally, I don't really have too many issues, with him. But again, you just don't want to get to a point where if you're not paying attention and listening to the host or the people in the room, you will get booted. And but I do appreciate the support, the $5 holla. But you on probation, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Photos in the future for the dono, possibly. But I'll tell you what, I know a lot of hosts on, streaming, on Twitch and YouTube would never do what I do. Anyone that ends up, donating, they'll put up with anything. People will put up with verbal abuse. They'll put up with trolling, put up with, causing drama in the chat. And a lot of these hosts, they'll just deal with it, and they'll just have their mods have to deal with all the bullshit. And, I'm not willing to do that. So, most people, they feel that they can kind of buy their way into something, but it's more about the respect than the dono itself. 14-3 Notre Dame. We're at 25, 75 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Where are we at on the likes? How many more until we get to 20? We got to get there. Indiana kicks off. Oh, Bear Alexander, huh? Yeah, we've been getting quite a few transfers. I mean, you got to think Oregon is like the new cream of the crop. We're going to be the best team on the West Coast. So, a lot of people, that maybe would have originally committed to Ohio State, Michigan, Bama, Georgia, Texas. Oregon is definitely going to be getting a lot of athletes that want to be a part of Dan Lanning's culture. And if we win the Natty this year, chances are we're probably going to have a good chance to win another one before Dan Lanning leaves. Hopefully he doesn't, and we can have him for like 10 years and create a Nick Saban kind of environment. But, we just got to take it one day at a time and just see where it goes. Yeah. Well, wouldn't you choose the Ducks? I mean, Penn State would be acceptable, over Oregon, but it's not like you're going to choose SMU over Oregon. But again, if you can start for SMU or you have to end up being a bench guy for Oregon and wait your turn, sometimes guys will end up, going to the smaller school to play right away because players want to play, right? Nobody wants to fucking sit for a year or two, but sometimes you got to wait your turn. Leonard? Short game. All right, we need 5 more. All right. Third down and 6 on the Notre Dame 21. Indiana needs a big defensive play. Fumble, interception, sack lunch, fumble for a touchdown, a pick 6. Obviously they're behind the 8 ball, down by 11, and they haven't really proven that they can get too many stops besides that pick early on in the game. I'm just going through all of the banned individuals on the channel. Like, the list is so fucking long. I literally went through like a big list of and I don't even see his name on there, even though that was the last individual that we ended up, banning or whatnot. Two-minute warning, 14-3 Notre Dame. Yeah, well, as long as Bama doesn't have Saban, they're never going to be as good as they were. It's not going to happen, Same thing with Michigan. If they don't have Harbaugh anymore, they're not going to be on that same level. The coaches bring in the players. Did he catch it? Wow. First down, Irish. Move the chains. I don't know if he actually caught it. They're going to do a replay. What do you guys think? Did he catch that? It's close. Wow, call confirmed. I think that one, let's look at it again here. His hand is underneath, and then once he gets and starts like wiggling around, but initially looking at that, it looked like a catch, but it close. If you ended up calling it incomplete, I don't think anyone really would have. It was definitely 50-50 there, but maybe 60-40 catch, 40 no, 60 yes, but I guess it really just depends on the camera angle there, but it looks like the football did, hit the ground a little bit, but his hands were underneath. So a lot of times, as long as you don't let go and you have a tight grip on it, then sometimes they'll just give it to you. And I think that's what we had there on that play. Man in motion, first down and 10. Fighting Irish. Riley Leonard, go, go, go. He's not very fast. He said, do I dive? Do I slide? I don't know. I got to do something. Second down. Shotgun set for Riley Leonard. Good protection up front. He's got plenty of time. He's just really slow, but still wiggling his way for a first down. First down, Irish. Move the chains. Yeah, Leonard, super slow. Shotgun set. Leonard, pump fake. Check down. Missed tackle. Missed tackle. Missed tackle. Come on, Indiana. Now finally a gang tackle. Come on. Time out there by Notre Dame. Texas will win, play Arizona State, beat them. Ohio State will win, Oregon will play them, beat them. Penn State will be SMU. Penn State, Boise State would be a good game, and that one could go either way, but you would assume Penn State could win that game. And then Notre Dame winning today and playing Georgia and probably losing that matchup to Georgia. Even if Georgia doesn't have Carson Beck, the backup is still good enough to beat Notre Dame, with the defense that they have and the offensive weapons that they have. But again, intriguing. There's a couple intriguing matchups, right? That Notre Dame, Georgia would be intriguing. Obviously, Penn State and Boise State, intriguing. Those ones you actually feel, could maybe go one way or the other, but there's definitely going to be a team that we lean a little bit more for. And obviously Ohio State could play Oregon and beat us, we know that, but incomplete, one-on-one towards the sideline. But I would just have to assume, if we do play Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia, that's what we're going to have to do to be able to go all the way. And I wouldn't want it any other way. So I'm not afraid of any team. And again, we got the best coach in college football this year. And we just got to be able to finish the job. Easier said than done, but 13-0, we're close. We got to make it 16-0, and then we'll be national champs. Oh, 3rd down and 1. First down, Irish. Move the chains. Nice run there. 12-yard gain. Tick, 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 tick. Leonard, check down into the turf, incomplete. Yeah, but the thing is, with Penn State, they're very well balanced on offense and defense, and even if Genty ends up getting 150 yards and scoring once or twice, do they have enough to beat Penn State? Like, would you put money on Boise State beating Penn State? And the answer is no, you wouldn't, So it's like you're hoping that Boise State, because you love Genty, and, you would hope that they would do it, but realistically, I don't really see a path for them to be able to win that game. It's like offense, Boise State, has their moments, but what about their defense? I don't think they'll be able to stop Penn State. It's like unless Genty ends up going off for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, but again, it depends on the quarterbacks, as well, right? So, like Carson Beck for Georgia, mid. Will Howard, mid. When you get some of these quarterbacks, that you've seen on like Georgia and Ohio State, you're never going to win a natty with quarterbacks like that. Even though Beck, had some success early on, and was great, but now he's injured, and then the backup will be in there. But I mean, quarterback play has been terrible this year. Even though Dylan Gabriel is like one of the better ones this season, he's not going to do anything in the NFL. So that should show you that he went, as a Heisman candidate, but he won't do anything. So we're in a bad spot for quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. Little check down. I mean, Dylan Gabriel will be a backup quarterback in a project, but it's like, what do you got? Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, and maybe Quinn Ewers, unless he goes to another college and an NIL deal, but they're not going to be as good as the quarterbacks that we had in this past class, nowhere near that. And I hope, Shedeur and Cam Ward pan out, but if you go to a bad team, like Caleb did with the Bears, like if you end up going to the Giants or the Raiders, that's not going to fucking turn it around. Like just because you have Shedeur Sanders on the Raiders, they're going to go to the playoffs? Fuck no. Cam Ward goes to the Giants and all of a sudden they're a playoff team? Fuck no. There's a lot more that these teams need to fix besides just quarterback. It's not going to be like a Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix situation for those quarterbacks. Yeah, but you also have to remember the teams that are playing at home, they have that huge advantage. And again, when you have the crowd behind you, not many teams are going to be able to win on the road in this type of environment. I think Tennessee will keep it close, for a couple quarters, but Ohio State in the shoe, they'll find a way. It may not be by a lot, even as low as 3-point win, but I think all the home teams are going to win. In this first round, kick is up and good. 49-yarder. And that's like, I like some of the teams that are in the playoff as the road teams, but like Indiana. We already knew that, you can look at the records. Ooh, they're both 11-1, but one is a legit 11-1 and another one is 11-1, but in reality, they play like an 8-4 team. Yeah, but who has Tennessee beaten that is worth a damn this season? What are Tennessee's signature wins this year? And again, we're talking about SEC that's trash. It's like, what do you got? You got Texas and you got Georgia, and then what? Bama not being very good. This season, like you can win a bunch of games in the SEC when you play a bunch of shitty teams. Same thing with the middle and the bottom of the Big Ten. It's really easy to have a good record when you play a bunch of dog shit. I mean, Indiana, the only matchup that they had was worth a damn was Ohio State, and they lost. But we'll see who's right, once we go through these games. And I don't expect to be right, 100%, but I do like upsets, but I just don't see any upsets in this first round. When we go to the next round, then you might have some upsets, because obviously the matchups will be better, and then the teams that are the real deal would be advancing, playing against the real deal teams that are already waiting with the bye. So. Shotgun set, Rourke hands it off. And we are at halftime, 17-3, Fighting Irish. And hopefully the other underdog teams that are on the road play better than Indiana. So Bama's the best win. And was Bama good this year? Is Bama in the college football playoff? Are they going to go for the natty? No, they're not. So, Bama fucking lost to, they got a win against Georgia, but you lost to Vandy and a bunch of other shit schools Now, if Tennessee had Peyton Manning, or T. Martin back in the day when they were good, then maybe we're cooking. If Peyton Manning is on fucking Tennessee, then I'm listening. But last time I checked, Peyton Manning is not on Tennessee this year. So unless you have a quarterback like that, even though Ohio State has been, and you got to think they barely lost to Oregon. They definitely, got beat up by Michigan. But again, it's not like Ohio State has looked terrible. Ohio State is still a team that could win it all. As like after Oregon, Texas, Georgia, the top three, and then the wild card teams are, probably like a Penn State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. That's like, I don't really think that they could do it. But if you have to name three other teams after Georgia, Oregon, and Texas, I guess those would be the three that you could say, well, those teams are pretty good, and they have shown that they can hang with other teams. But that's what I'm saying, Big Ten, we got the best conference this year. So obviously Ohio State, Penn State, and then, independent Notre Dame. Those would be the wild card team. But they're not on the same level as Georgia, Oregon, or Texas, based on our defenses and, what we're able to do. So, but you never know. That's why we're doing this college football playoff, right? To see, if our predictions are correct, or if we have any upset, or if it ends up being, kind of dominated by the team that's hosting. Tennessee's only chance to beat Ohio State is if Tennessee was at home. If Tennessee was at home and they had all their fans drunk, wearing orange, swinging the orange towel, and they were there at home, then Tennessee would have a chance at home. But on the road and that harsh environment in the shoe, I don't see it. Again, and sometimes you need that extra to be able to, bring out the best in the players, and bring that energy. That would, in my opinion, that would be the only way Tennessee would have a chance to win, let alone win, is if they were the hosting team. But if they're on the road, it's not going to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, but the thing is with Ryan Day is good against bad teams and teams that aren't in the top five. But when he has a top five matchup, then he's not good. But other than the top five matchups, he's pretty good. He can beat up on all the other teams that are out there. It's just like when they end up playing top tier teams or, once in a while playing Michigan, even if they're not ranked, But if you look at Ryan Day's record against bad teams or teams that aren't in the top five or maybe ranked, their record is pretty fucking good. So, just saying. Yeah, and Ryan Day needs to go. They need to have Chip Kelly as the head coach. That's what I would do. recruiting would be much better. They would get a lot of people. It would be, they would try to be able to build like a mini Oregon again. So. $75 to go. But I think like as far as like Big Ten, schools, Indiana is a pretender. Illinois, when they were in the top 25, they're a pretender. Michigan wasn't good this year, but they were able to beat Ohio State. Really it's just Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. Those are the dogs. And then everyone else is just So that's what I'm saying. It's so top heavy. Same thing with the SEC. It's like you got Georgia, you got Texas, and then what else? What else? And then you got a bunch of dog shit schools. It's like Bama might be able to hang here and there against them, but if Bama was the real deal, they would have at least made the college football playoff and not, lost to Vandy and not lost 3 games. So, Zay in the building. What's good? Yeah. And also Georgia potentially, could end up dropping the ball at some point in this tourney since they don't have Carson Beck, even though I thought that he wasn't very good really to begin with anyways. He was kind of mid, and maybe this quarterback, the backup that comes in will play better than him, but we'll see where it goes. But to me, if we end up playing Ohio State when they end up beating Tennessee tomorrow, right, at home, if we end up beating them, I think that the winner of the next round after we beat Ohio State, Texas versus Oregon, that's who's going to win the championship this year. Whoever wins that game is actually going to be the champion. Because if Texas beats Oregon, then they're going to go all the way. If Oregon beats Texas, they're going to go all the way. So really that's going to be the determining factor, Oregon or Texas, in my opinion. Zay in the building. What's good? Jeremiah Love rumbling and bumbling down the sideline. That was beautiful. He said, "You can't get me. You can't guard me. Night, night. Put you to sleep." But Georgia doesn't really feel, like a normal Georgia team. Bama and Michigan aren't as good. Texas and Oregon, we already knew, and I told you all that they were going to be the 2 teams that were going to take Alabama and Michigan's spot. They did, and to me, those are the only 2 teams that are truly deserving of the Natty this year. Oregon 1, Texas 2. Those are the 2 teams that deserve it, that actually have a roster that's worthy of the Natty. Like Georgia, they have a great team, and again, their quarterback play was a little bit more consistent. ETN is nice, the defense is amazing, but we obviously watched Georgia and Texas go out in an SEC championship game, and I don't know. I just feel like Oregon and Texas are kind of the cream of the crop. Yeah, it was fire, bro. Nice to have Pat McAfee there. They had Shane Gillis on there earlier. Big Notre Dame fan. 17-3 Notre Dame. They have the same record, but one team is fugazi and fake, and the other is the real deal. That could happen. That there's a possibility there. You would have to get past Georgia, and I'm not sure how that would go. But if Notre Dame plays great defense, and can limit some of the damage. And obviously Georgia would have a backup quarterback. That could be one of the teams that goes a little bit further than people think, especially if they knock off Georgia. That would be a very interesting natty, Oregon and Notre Dame. I'm going to go check up on Paisley, make sure that she is okay while we're still sitting here at halftime. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes. All right, Paisley is doing good. She's just snugged up on the couch. If you guys haven't been on Dexter Original Sin, I would highly recommend it if you guys don't have the the Showtime add-on, or if you end up having it. But it's very good. Like, I was a little bit skeptical, based on the new actors that they were going to have portray younger versions of Dexter and some of the others, but they did a great job with the casting, and they've already are 3 episodes in out of a 10-episode season, and it's very, very good. Highly recommend. So if you are looking for something new to watch, I think they have like a week free trial, and then it's like $13 a month. So I might have to pay $13 twice, for 2 months to finish the season completely. But again, I normally wouldn't pay that much just for like a show. But for a show like Dexter, I definitely will. Very good. Yeah, and I think the backup is going to play better than Carson Beck. So, yeah, Georgia is still Georgia, as long as they have, their defense, and they have Kirby Smart, and they have all those athletes and NFL bodies. Georgia will always be in the mix. And again, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, those are the 3 teams that I think that can win it all. And then the other 3 wild card teams, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State, and that's pretty much it. I don't think anybody else, has a chance besides those 6 teams. You got the 3 like legit, natty worthy teams. And then you got the other 3 that, they're going to have to get a little bit lucky to be able to have some upset to get to that point. So. And then we got tomorrow, bright and early at 9 a.m., SMU and Penn State. That one could get ugly. Penn State might just mollywop them. Texas and Clemson, same thing. Texas might mollywop them. And then Tennessee, Ohio State should be closer, but I would assume Ohio State will find a way at home. Yeah, but even though Ohio State hasn't really proven a whole lot, You just have to look at the other teams that they're playing: Tennessee, Clemson, SMU, Indiana. They all had pretty good years, but there's a difference, between top tier talent and then the next tier. So. And even though Ryan Day, can't beat top 5 opponents, again, they still have enough NFL players at running back and wide receiver. Quarterback stinks, and then they have their offensive linemen. A few of them get banged up and hurt, and that's been, part of the reason why they haven't looked as good, at the back end of the season when you end up losing some key pieces on the line. Defense usually is still pretty good for them also. So, I'm not really a big Ryan Day guy, but again, they have a great record against teams that aren't in the top 5 or, mid teams or bad teams. So we'll see where it goes. But even though I don't think that they're that great, Ohio State, they should still be able to beat Tennessee at home. And who knows, maybe they even blow them out, depending on how the defense plays. We'll wait and see. But, Tennessee's only chance would be if they were at home hosting the game. We'll find out if any road team will win today or tomorrow. But I don't think it will happen. I think you're going to get home teams winning all 4 games in this first round. And we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Now, if Ohio State, ended up having like Justin Fields or CJ Stroud, then it's a different conversation. But again, the last 2 quarterbacks that they've had have been garbage. And again, if you're Ohio State and you're trying to, dominate, not only the Big Ten and, dominate college football, you can't have, average, mid quarterbacks. You need guys that are better. I mean, the previous quarterback to Howard ended up going to Syracuse. He's not a good quarterback. Howard's not very good either. So I wouldn't want those guys on my team. And again, if you're Ohio State, you should be able to recruit a quarterback. But again, it's like Ohio State and Oregon for years were kind of labeled, oh, these guys can't really, get a quarterback that'll make it to the NFL and play well. But then we changed that finally with Herbert and Bo Nix. So, and then now with Dylan Gabriel, I don't expect anything from him in the NFL, but he's had a great year for us. So 17-3 Notre Dame. I'll have to watch SmackDown after all these festivities are over. It's like DIY's got a new theme song on my social media, but I haven't got a chance to hear if it's good or not. And then we're going to get the second half started, and hopefully Indiana won't embarrass themselves because based off the pace that they're on, they're only going to score 6 for the whole game. So hopefully they can get more than the field goal. But again, Notre Dame's defense, offense, well balanced at home. It's like really, if you're really being honest and looking at the matchup here in the college football playoff, the only way that Indiana, SMU, Clemson, and Tennessee really would have a shot is if they were playing at home, to make it interesting, to have that fan base, get rowdy, and maybe that could make a difference. And, with that being said, not every one of those teams would be able to win at home, but you probably would get at least one of those 4 teams that would be able to pull off the upset if they were at home. Maybe even 2, out of 4, but you're not going to get 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4, but you possibly could get 1, maybe 2 at the most. Home field advantage is a big thing. I got the SmackDown on the DVR. I've been binging X-Files from the very beginning. Such an underrated show for a show that came out in the early 90s. Amazing. Duchovny, Gillian Anderson. I mean, I already like sci-fi as it is, but some of those episodes I don't even remember because it came out when I was like, 11, 12 years old, and I'm 42 now. So it's like, for a show that's like 30 years old, it is incredible. I think I'm on season 2 now. Season 1 had like 20 episodes, like an hour each. And I went through all of those within a couple days. So definitely looking forward to tapping into that. Dexter, Original Sin, highly recommend dipping into that. If you guys have Showtime, Paramount Plus, whatever, based off the Hulu add-on, you get a week free and then it's like $12 a month, something like that. But for a show like Dexter, definitely worth it. Ryan Day isn't good enough to coach in the NFL. I mean, if he can't even beat top 5 teams, like, why would he go to the NFL? If he gets fired, he might be able to get a job in college, but I don't think any NFL team would want to hire a guy that can't beat top 5 teams, And again, they had an easy path without Oregon there. It's like it was either them or Michigan, and then Penn State was always 3rd, and then now adding more teams and then starting to realize, I mean, if we were in the Big Ten back in the day and Ohio State was in the Pac-12, we could have fucking won the Big Ten almost every year. It would have either been us or Michigan, regardless if we had Dan Lanning or not. It's just Big Ten, they want to be able to act like it was the best thing since sliced bread. But if you actually look at the teams that are in the conference, same thing with the SEC, they always want to brag like how great the SEC and the Big Ten is. And they're good as far as top-heavy teams. But if you look at from top to bottom, not that impressive. Pac-12 had better teams top to bottom. That was the best conference in college football for years. But no one wanted to give us any credit because, no one was winning natties out of the Pac-12. But again, if you look at top to bottom, anybody could beat anybody. Oregon could play Arizona and lose. Oregon could play Washington State and lose. Oregon could play Utah and lose. I mean, it was just such a well-rounded conference, and people took it for granted. Yeah, the Bears are just dog shit. They have bad culture there. Bad owner, bad GM, bad coaches, bad coordinators, and until you figure that out, the same shit is just going to repeat itself. There's bad culture there in Chicago. They're going to be sitting at the bottom for a long time, especially with the Lions and the Packers and the Vikings, building their teams the correct way. Sucks for them, but that's where they're at. I mean, unless one day, like, a Jim Harbaugh type goes there, that can change the culture in a positive way. But it would have to be more than just that. You would also have to get, the GM to pair up with him, and then you would need to be able to get good coordinators to pair up with Jim also. There's a lot that they would need to do. And Indiana kicks off. Here we go. I don't think Ryan Day is a bad coach. He just has a hard time being able to beat the good teams. Oh, baby, go! Good return by Notre Dame. Ryan Day is kind of like, the Dallas Cowboys in a year that they have Dak. Really good in the regular season, but then when it really counts most, like in the playoffs or in a big game, then they just choke. Great field position by Notre Dame. We're at 25-75 to go, 17-3 Irish. And the only way Indiana is going to get back in this game is they have to get sack lunches, strip sacks, punch outs, pick six, fumble for a touchdown. They have to be able to win the turnover battle the rest of the way, which is probably going to be impossible. But if you end up getting the pick six, or fumble for a touchdown, that could change the Uncle Mo to Indiana's favor, and then they might be able to ride that wave for a quarter. But what are the chances that Indiana gets a pick six or a fumble for a touchdown in this game? Probably not very likely, but possible still. Leonard, check down. Jeremiah Love, which we saw in the first half, rumbling and bumbling with that 98-yard touchdown out of his own end zone in the first half. Molly McGrath, Katie George. 3 more likes at 20. Let's get there. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20, baby. But if they end up firing Ryan Day, they got Chip Kelly at OC for a reason because they know that he could be the next coach. That was a good hire for them. Because then, you could have Chip be head coach and offensive coordinator, or if he felt enough trust, he could give up the play calling and give it to someone else. But if I'm Chip, I'm calling the plays and I'm the head coach. And you're going to recruit better, with Chip Kelly than Ryan Day. Ryan Day looks like a guy that would be a manager at a fucking Walmart or like a Home Depot. He don't look like a head coach. He looks like a substitute teacher, and not a good one at that. 17-3 Irish. Shotgun set. Leonard zips it in there and complete. A little bit too much mustard on that one. 4th down, they're going to have to punt. I mean, doesn't he? He looks like just some Home Depot, Walmart type of worker or grocery bag boy. I don't know. He just doesn't really look like a head coach. He looks more like a coordinator than a head coach to me, but I mean, there's certain coaches that have the aura and the vibe. Like Chip Kelly had the aura. Nick Saban has the aura. Kirby Smart has aura. Dan Lanning has aura. Ryan Day don't got no goddamn aura. Urban Meyer had the aura. You get a coach like that, then they would be the real deal. But again, how many coaches are going to have that it factor? You got a Fugazi coach, you get Fugazi results. 17-3 Irish. All right, Notre Dame. You got the punt. Let's see what Indiana can do. What's up, bro? Where's the lumber at? Okay, aisle 4. Okay, thanks, man. He just looks like a PE teacher, at a high school or a junior high. He looks like a guy that you would see at a Home Depot. He doesn't scream, aura or respect. It's just a guy with a beard. Where's the lumber at? Aisle 3. Thanks, Ryan. Thank God we don't have that at Oregon. I was telling you, Sarah, college football is better this year than the NFL. Hey, but it's not you're going to be your coach for long. If you guys want to be able to do something good, you got to fire his ass. He's not good enough. If Ohio State wants to win natties, you ain't going to do it with Ryan Day. Not with the way that the college football landscape is now. And I think you know that too. Again, Urban Meyer, a type of coach. You got Chip Kelly already there. But you ain't going to win shit with Ryan Day. It's not. And again, if I thought that he was a good coach, I'm not going to go out of my way. And it doesn't really matter that he has a beard or not. It's just, again, he can beat up on the bad teams, right? He can beat up on the mid teams, but when it comes up to games that really fucking matter for your legacy, he can't get it done. He's kind of like a Kyle Shanahan, right? Who can coach really good for 3 quarters, but when the games are on the line in the 4th quarter in the NFC, AFC championship game, or in the Super Bowl, he just can't figure out the right play calling in the 4th quarter. I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's super intelligent, but the 4th quarter is not his friend. And again, sometimes you can be like really good, during the regular season like the Cowboys, and then just nut up and be terrible in the playoffs, like them. And again, it's like, you can be good in the regular, but what about in the postseason? People aren't going to remember you for, what you did in the regular. They're going to remember what you did when it mattered most. Kirk needs to fucking go too. Home Depot. Kirk Ferentz, retirement. Sitting on a lazy boy, hanging out with his grandkids. I got nothing bad to say about him. But they definitely need to move on from him. They've stuck with him way too fucking long. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Kirk Ferentz just looks like a regular grandpa. Notre Dame has a player down. Hopefully he's okay. ACL, MCL, PCL, Achilles. Hopefully he's okay. No bots, no. All right, so Jed looks like a middle school teacher. He looks like maybe he could end up being a coach of something, but doesn't really give me a PE teacher type of vibe. But kind of seems like he'd be more of like a social studies teacher or something like that. Doesn't really scream swagger when you look at him. But again, this is what you have, for a while until we see otherwise. But kind of looks like a substitute teacher, social studies teacher, something like that. Oh boy, is just old. Enjoy retirement, my guy. Hang out with your grandkids. And then Ryan Day just looks weird. He just got a weird looking face with that beard. It's like, I'm supposed to take you serious because you got the beard, but looks like a junior high PE coach. Physical education at your local middle school. Get Chip Kelly the job, baby. Yeah, Ryan Day looks like a used car salesman too. I would agree to that. He definitely has that used car salesman or brand new car salesman that, kind of look. Ryan Day looks untrustworthy. You know what I'm saying? You know how you look at some guys and then like, okay, this guy doesn't have any negative vibes. He just looks like a normal dude, but doesn't have the swagger. This guy, he's just old, right? He's done his job. Just a normal dude, a loving guy, and hang out with a grandma and grandpa. You look like you're about to do a crime. Like, what crime did you commit? What felony did you just do? Who did you blame it on? Your brother? Like, he looks like he's up to no good. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh boy is scheming. He's like up to some Ponzi scheme or trying to be like Hawk Tua, and scheming people with the meme coin and whatnot. I mean, if you're dumb enough to invest in a Hawk Tua coin and you end up dipping your whole life savings in it and then she pulls the rug and then keeps all that money and they sell, like, what do you expect? If you're dumb enough to invest in something like that, then, of course you're going to get burned, Like, who the fuck is going to invest in a Hawk Tua fucking meme coin? You got to be really dumb to do something like that. Offside. I mean, you want coaches that you're going to run through a wall for, and again, it's like, it's aura, swagger, and again, it's like, ooh, nice little end around here, but look at Notre Dame with the closing speed. They say, sit the fuck down. All right, Fighting Irish, jumping on them, dog pile, motherfucker. Sit down. Finally, the Hoosiers try to mix up the play calling, and they don't have the speed to get to the outside. But certain people, they have the look. And, of someone that deserves to be listened to and respected, and also someone that's genuine and real that is going to, go out of the way, to help every individual the best that they can. And that's why certain coaches have players that are going to run through a wall for them. Dan Lanning is definitely one of those guys. Kirby Smart, another. Nick Saban, another. Right? Urban Meyer, when he was coaching, he's another. Oh! 12 noon, you know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Get you a Dan Lanning, and you might have some success. Go Ducks. I mean, and we're going to be as good as he's there. Once he leaves, if we don't get someone, like on a Chip Kelly or Dan Lanning level after he leaves, then we're going to end up being like, third, fourth, fifth in the Big Ten. We won't be the best team anymore, but we'll still be one of the better teams that could go like 8-4, 9-3, but we're just not going to be, a team that will probably go 10-2, 11-1, or 12-0. But if Dan ends up staying, for like 10 years, we're going to end up building an Alabama on the West Coast. And we might end up actually winning a couple natties. So at least that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. I feel like DeBoer, it was more about the players rather than him. Let's be honest. Michael Penix Jr., Jalen McMillan, Rome Odunze, Culp at tight end. It's like it was more really about the players. I mean, he was a part of it, but I don't really think that he screams greatness, because if he was so great, right, why did Alabama do so shitty under him, right? I don't think he's that good, honestly. Like, he did good for you guys, and you guys built your program, and obviously you guys had a good couple years, but it was also you guys were blessed on Michael Penix Jr. transferring, and if you didn't have a quarterback like that, you wouldn't have made it as far as you guys did. Let's be real, Washington isn't typically known for quarterbacks. And, once in a while, you'll have like a Marquise Tuiasosopo, you'll end up having some guys once in a while, but not many are going to be on like the Michael Penix Jr. level. Let's be honest. And if he was such a great coach, then Alabama would have never missed a step. They would have, went undefeated or lost a game or two, they definitely wouldn't have lost 3 and lost to fucking Vanderbilt. And it's not like they didn't have a fucking quarterback. They had Milroe there. So, for me, he's okay, but, I would assume that he'll be fired from Alabama pretty soon. Because, how many years of 9-3, 8-4 are the Bama fans going to put up with? And the Bama, the boosters and everyone that's paying the money. You think that Alabama is going to be going from Nick Saban winning Natty to a fucking coach that's going 9-3? Unacceptable for Alabama standards. So don't be surprised if he ends up getting the boot in a year or two. I can almost bet on it. But he had a lot of NFL players, and everyone was collectively a part of that success. The coach, the quarterback, the offensive line, the wide receivers, the running backs, the defense. It all came together for a small market school. But I don't think anyone is going to be rushing to sign a guy like him after he gets fired by Bama. Will he get another job? Yes, but I don't think he's that desirable. Not trying to be a hater, just being honest. I wouldn't want him for Oregon's coach. Hell no. Just being honest. He doesn't do it for me. But I wish him the most success, though. Shotgun set. First down and 10. Indiana with a nice stop there. Second down and 1. There's a lot of coaches that can rah and yell and scream, but the ones that end up being the best are the ones that end up putting in the most work, building the connections with the players, and actually caring about them. And then also, watching the film and reading and really putting in that extra work, having that desire to be the best. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Think about it. Dan Lanning turned down Bama. He's going to go anywhere. He's going to be at Oregon. And then if for whatever reason Kirby Smart gets fired 5 to 10 years from now, that's the only job that Dan Lanning would take if he was going to leave Oregon, would be Georgia's head coach if Kirby Smart got fired. Nowhere else. So as long as Kirby Smart is there, we're good. And if you're really looking at it, Oregon is a better destination than Alabama. They had the players with Nick Saban, but once Nick Saban left, so did the players. So did the aura. So did the vibe. No one fears Alabama ever again until they end up getting another Saban, which they may never. They had their moment. Oh, big hit. Late hit out of bounds. Oh, my. What a dumb play there. What a dumb play. Big penalty. And obviously some coaches are more intelligent than others. Some work harder than others. Not everyone is created equal at head coach. It's a late hit. There you go, personal foul. Automatic first down. Have some fucking awareness. And again, if you're going to make that play, why are you doing that when you could have gotten the ball back? It's like a frustration play. He's in the air right there, but again, that's unnecessary. That's a frustration penalty there, And then now, you give them an automatic first down, and now they're going to score a touchdown, and now you're going to be down even more. 24-3. Nice job, Indiana, you idiot. Here we go. Jaden Thomas. But again, the college football playoff will teach us a lot, that sometimes the records are not what they seem. Both of these teams are 11-1, but one team is legit and the other is not. Just because Indiana has an 11-1 next to their name doesn't mean they're really 11-1. They're looking like a 8-4 type of team to me. Yeah, Miami would be more exciting. Obviously, their defense is no good, but Cam Ward in that offense with Damian Martinez would have been funner to watch. I would agree to that. Hell, even having Colorado, getting a chance to, show what Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter could do. Yeah, their defense is improved from last year and whatnot, but even Colorado would be funner than Indiana. Not really a Shedeur Sanders guy, but I do like Travis Hunter, though. Shedeur Sanders is too much of a me guy, and I think that'll be the reason that he never really fully hits his potential in the NFL. He's going to want to be bigger than everyone else on the team, and if you're going to have that type of attitude, even if you have a great athleticism, at some point that will backfire on you. Leonard, scrambling, gambling, check down, hit him with a shimmy, holds onto an ankle, another ankle, another ankle. Oh, wow. I think they prematurely blew that whistle there. I don't know if he was down. All right, he is down. All right, 4th down. Kick the field goal. Jeter, no relation to Derek. Oh, trick play? What the fuck are they doing here? What the fuck are they doing here? What is this? What was that? What was that? You run a play like that when you don't respect your opponent. That's when you run a bullshit, dumb play like that. Like, why are you running that? Kick the field goal, you dummy. Yeah, but definitely I think Miami would have been the funnest team to watch. I mean, their defense is non-existent, but again, Cam Ward was super exciting to watch. Damian Martinez was super exciting to watch at running back, and both of those guys were transfers from Washington State and Oregon State, So it shows you, hey, the Pac-12, we have the ball. It's just that people don't want to recognize it. They just recognize where those guys are at, but where did they come from? You think Miami would be relevant if they didn't have Cam Ward or Damian Martinez? Fuck no. All right, 28-yard attempt. Yeah, but running that bullshit fucking play right there, I mean, they don't give a fuck about Indiana. The game's already over. It's already been over since like the first quarter, but you would just hope that Indiana would fight and at least get to 10 to 13 points, but Jeter, no relation to Derek. Flag on the play. False start on the offense. That's the sports gods punishing them for that dumbass fucking whatever the hell that was a couple plays ago. Oh, starting right guard out for the rest of the game. I wonder if it's for the rest of the season. 33-yard attempt. Come on, Jeter. Kick is up. And good. 20-3, Irish. No worries. Thank you for being here. Gained a couple subs. Shout out to the new subs. 26 to go to get to 20,700. Let's get there, baby. Well, I don't know if it's really a fight. I mean, you guys are beating the shit out of them. Indiana looks terrible. They don't even have a touchdown yet, bro. What kind of fight are we talking about? I mean, fucking beatdown? 20-3 is not a fight. If it was 2017 or 2020, that's a fight. 20-3, the game has been over since the first quarter. And I'm glad that you guys are winning, but this is not what we expected out of Indiana. 11-1 versus 11-1. I knew Notre Dame was going to win, but I assumed that Indiana would have a minimum of 10 points at least at this point. 10-13, so. But again, the games will get more interesting after the first round. Some of the first round matchups are going to look like this. But hopefully we have at least one game out of the 4 that doesn't look like this, where it's a little bit closer. Yeah, but this is a fucking beatdown. I mean, Indiana's pacing for 6. This is college football. 6 points in a game is not good. Yeah, well, Georgia's the real deal. Indiana is a fugazi 11-1. They didn't play anybody. If you don't play anybody and then you all of a sudden play someone, this is what happens. You get fucking exposed and you get your ass kicked. Just because they both are 11-1 doesn't mean they're equal. Oh, scoring average 43.3 today, 3. Is that good? No, it's not. But the Notre Dame Georgia will be interesting. Georgia will be favored, but who knows? Notre Dame definitely will have a shot. And it wouldn't be 20-3 against Georgia, where Georgia's at 20 and Notre Dame's at 3. It wouldn't be like that. So. Third down and 3 on the IU 32. Indiana fans want a refund. They're like, what is this? Man in motion. Shotgun set. Floater. He's open. And complete. They really needed that one. Yeah, he doesn't look accurate because you're going against a good fucking defense in Notre Dame. You had a soft-ass schedule and didn't fucking play anybody. You had a good record, and then when you finally played people that are good, like Ohio State and Notre Dame, you look like shit. It's as easy as that. Oh, he looks so good in the regular season. Yeah, fuck, anybody would look good playing against a bunch of dog shit in the regular season. Oh, it's like, oh, did you see that game where we played fucking Purdue? Like... False start. Yeah, that's more of a credit to Notre Dame's defense, though. Because if Notre Dame didn't have a good defense, Rourke would be able to sling the ball, and they would be at like probably 10 or 13 points at this point. They would still be losing, but they would at least be only down like a touchdown, not fucking 17, and only sitting at 3. Sometimes you got to give credit to the other side. That's why it's happening. Part of it is Rourke. Part of it is coaching with the OT. Coming up with plays that could actually work. For a while there, they were just running it up right up the gut. It's like, how many times do you need to run it with a halfback dive or a counter and gain 1 or none, and then think that that's going to work eventually? But also, too, remember, Indiana is a basketball school. It's not like Indiana is good every year. It's not like Indiana is in contention for the Big Ten crown every year. This is the first year ever that Indiana's good. So, sometimes you can have a great regular season, but then you end up getting stomped by someone that's better than you. But they had a good year. So, it's a basketball school, not a football school. It happens. But hopefully for their sanity, they can get at least a touchdown before the game ends. Yeah, I think the Irish would have a shot. Again, especially with Georgia's quarterback play being very iffy this year, and now Beck is out and the backup is in there. We know the defense is going to be insane, but other than that, ETN and then the defense, we'll see. But I don't think there's very many teams that could do it, but Notre Dame is one of them that could possibly do something like that. Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Penn State. That's it. You got 6 teams. That's it. Those are the teams that actually can win at home or on the road that are built, for a good run. Everyone else is like they're going to have to, have a little bit of luck on their side and have the game of their fucking season, to be able to have an upset. Jeremiah Love bouncing into the outside. Wow, look at the strength. Wow. First down, Irish. I really like this Jeremiah Love kid. This guy's fucking the man. He said fucking night, bitches. He's nice. He's nicey, as John Gruden would say. Fucking nicey. Whoa. Yeah, you'll be seeing Jeremiah Love in the NFL in a couple years. Love him. Shotgun set, pump fake, little check down. Evans just short of the marker. Like right here, he should be tackling. He gives the stiff arm. He said, "Get the fuck off me!" Stiff arms him into fucking Pluto. Angry run. Sit the fuck down. Get off me, bitch. Drives him right into the ground. Stay there. Yeah, punk bitch. That's, you don't want to get embarrassed with the stiff arm, let alone the stiff arm all the way into the ground. That's embarrassing. Second down and 1. Play action fake. Protection breaking down. Missed tackle. And then he tried to hit him there with the crown at the end. Jeremiah Love is like, fuck, let me get up here. Little helmet-to-helmet action there towards the sideline. Scoreboard is above me always. Third quarter. Short game. Oh, they're not fucking rallying. Stop it. These announcers, they might be able to rally. There's no fucking rally happening. It'd be a miracle for them to even get a fucking touchdown before this game ends. End of the third quarter, 20-3, Irish. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're only a like or two away from 20. And what are we at? 25, 75 to go. Let's get it, baby. Notre Dame putting them to sleep. Night-night. Just be happy you don't have a used car salesman for your coach. But like for real though, I've never seen a coach that looks evil. Like, doesn't Ryan Day look evil? Like he looks like possessed, like by the devil or something. Like he don't look right. He looks like something's off about him. I don't know about that bone structure and those eyes and that beard, but you look like you're about to do some crimes and some felonies, or you already did, and you're trying to cover it up, and then you're trying to blame your brother or someone else. You just don't look right. You don't look like a head coach. Watch out for this guy. Be happy you don't have him. Ryan Day looking like a goddamn criminal. Like, what you been up to? Nothing. You look like you did something wrong. He just looks fucking guilty, doesn't he? Like he did something. He's trying to cover it up. Shit. And it's crazy too, because out of all the coaches in college football, I've never seen someone that looks like him. You know what I mean? He has a very unique look, and I've never seen a coach that looks like him. And it's just kind of funny that he's on a high profile school like Ohio State. He looks like he would be, a coach of like Sam Houston or, Texas Tech or something, not fucking a big school like Ohio State. But You know, you look like a criminal, and sometimes you play like criminals. Criminally not underrated, overrated. 23, Irish. I don't think he's a terrible coach. It's just, you know, I wouldn't want him. I mean, it just doesn't scream honesty when I look at him. Like, what did you do? Who did you steal from? Who did you lie to? Oh, God damn it, Ryan. Again? Motherfucker looks evil. All right, fourth quarter. I mean, that's just the impression that I get. He just looks evil. All right, Leonard. Second and long with the draw. Third down. I mean, at this point, you know, Notre Dame has won, but I want to be able to see some plays like, you know, give me a pick six, give me a fumble, show me that you're still fighting. But the problem is that Indiana is so overmatched at every position that there's nothing they can do. They can't get pressure. They can't get any plays, you know, on defense. It's like almost they have to wait for Notre Dame to fuck up, like, you know, to drop the ball or, you know, a tipped interception. That was like the only way that they got anything going, is that the defensive lineman tipped the football at the line of scrimmage and they got a pick. But other than that, you know, they can't get any pressure on Riley Leonard whatsoever. And if you don't get pressure on a college quarterback, let alone NFL, you lose 100% of the time. No, offside. Leonard, bootleg, free play. But it's all good, Zay. You won't have to deal with Ryan Day too much longer. He'll be fired in a year or two. If they were smart, they would make Chip the head coach, but they may keep him at OC, and, you know, we'll see where it goes. Offside, defense. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow's matchups as well. We got some NFL games tomorrow, and we got college football playoff. So you'll have to wake up bright and early. I'll have to take Paisley on a very early walk, but that'll be fine. On the NFL side, at 10 a.m. on NBC and Peacock, if this is your thing, you got Texas, you got the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you got at 1:30 on Fox, the Steelers and the Ravens. And then if you are a college football fanatic like myself, you'll be tuning into these as well. SMU and Penn State at 9 a.m., Clemson and Texas at 1, and we'll stream on the channel number 9 Tennessee versus number 8 Ohio State. Leonard, where's the pressure from Indiana? Jesus Christ. I think the only thing more demoralizing than not being able to get to the quarterback is having a shitty O-line. Oh, Florida International, they're good. Western Illinois, oh, they're good. UCLA, oh, they're good. Charlotte, they're good. Maryland, they're good. Northwestern, oh, Nebraska. I mean, look at this fucking pathetic schedule. Jesus Christ. Oh, Purdue, that was a good game. Chief in the building. I mean, maybe he's already on the way out. You know, they'll have to wait to see what happens. You know, but if Tennessee goes in there and blows them out by 20, yeah, I would probably fire Ryan Day right there. You know, I wouldn't even wait until the game would be over. Yeah, again, you know, we want more competitive matchups, but again, if you look at the teams that, you know, these, you know, quote unquote playoff teams played, you know, obviously they waited to the very end of the game to show that graphic that Indiana has literally beat no one. Nobody. How the hell are they going to compete with Notre Dame when you haven't beaten anybody? But again, the games tomorrow, some of them will be like this, but hopefully the Tennessee-Ohio State one will at least be close for a couple quarters. And every single team that's playing tomorrow will be putting up more than Indiana today. You won't. I mean, even SMU will put up more than 3. What's good, Chief? I mean, you got a Chief game tomorrow. We got some college football tomorrow, too. I mean, I would assume Penn State will smother the fuck out of SMU, and it'll be similar score to this, but maybe Penn State even has more points offensively, and I would assume SMU will, be able to get at least a little bit. Same thing with Clemson and Texas. Texas will blow them out, but Clemson will put up a little, and then Ohio State, Tennessee should be pretty good. Oh, blocked! Wow. Too bad they don't give 3 points for a blocked field goal. There you go, Indiana. You did something right. And all it did, it was take you to the fourth quarter. 23 Irish. But even though that the game, is 20-3, I'm enjoying this more than most NFL games this season. The NFL has been boring this year, regardless, of who you root for. I mean, every once in a while, you're going to get a game like the Bills and the Lions where you're on the edge of your seat. But let's be honest. I mean, there's been a lot of shitty NFL games, and there's been some shitty college football games where you get a ranked team in the top 25 against some bullshit team like Purdue. We went through a lot of those, but since we have the college football playoff, it'll make up for some of those bullshit games during the regular season. But I feel like college football in general has been better than the NFL this year. And I think that'll be a trend moving forward. I mean, because you only really have 4 teams that can win it all in the NFL. If you're the Chiefs, you're the Bills, you're the Lions, or the Eagles, you have a chance. If I didn't name your team, good luck. It ain't happening, I mean, there's going to be other teams that are going to be on the bubble. If we had to choose a couple other teams after those 4 that might be able to do something like the Steelers. But do we really trust Russell Wilson, to be able to beat Josh Allen or Mahomes and those teams? Yeah, TJ Watt is great, but, every good thing is going to come to an end at some point. See, and that's coming from a Chief fan. I mean, it's real, I don't know, man. Like I said, especially if you're a Chief fan and you watched how you guys looked in years past, with an offense that was explosive with Tyreek, with Bieniemy, without Bieniemy. It's like, you're winning games and you're not turning the football over and it's not pretty, but you're winning kind of ugly, but you're still winning and that's what matters. But as far as like entertainment, the Chiefs are not really that fun to watch this year compared to years past. And that's not really a hater comment. That's just being honest. Like the Bills are fun to watch with Josh Allen, right? And what they're doing, right? The Lions are fun to watch, right? But, some of these other teams, it's like they're good. Even the Eagles are more enjoyable to watch than KC. But at the end of the day, if you are a Chief fan like Chief or Odin, if they end up winning the Super Bowl, then, if you're good enough for long enough in this league, the NFL that we love, right? At some point, you're going to be the underdog, right, to Tom Brady, right? And then eventually you become the villain if you're good long enough. And that's where we're at with the Chiefs. You finally have turned in to the villain where people don't like you anymore. People are rooting for you guys to lose, and it would still be the same if you guys were blowing teams out, by 20 or 30, or you have the team that you have this year. You've gotten to the point where you've reached the mountaintop and now everyone is just, wanting something new, But again, Josh Allen and James Cook would have to cook the whole game. And even if they do, they might not be able to beat the Chiefs. So we'll see. But those are the 4 teams that have a shot. And then obviously college football playoff, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Penn State. If I didn't mention your team, you got 0% chance to do anything. Those are the teams that have a shot. And even the other 3, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, other things have to fall in line for them to get there. But we'll still mention them because they are good teams. They deserve to be mentioned. Fucking bots. Halfback toss. Oh, come on, Indiana, for fucking pride. You're a basketball school. Get at least a touchdown. And again, if you're down 20-3, fuck it. Just sling it. Fucking Hail Mary and see if you can get a PI. At least that'll get the ball closer into the red zone, because what you're fucking doing right now, running the ball, halfback dive, throwing these passes for 5 to 10 yards, it's not cutting it, man. First down, Hoosiers. Like at some point, in the first quarter, it's not working. Second quarter, it's not working. Third quarter, it's not working. You got fucking 3. All right? Stop embarrassing yourself. All right? Throw the ball deep. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You get picked off, and it's like a punt that you were going to do anyways. But if you end up getting lucky, maybe you complete it, and it ends up being a touchdown or a big gain, or you get PI. I mean, you don't really have anything to lose at this point. You're down 17. You're not going to fucking win. Shotgun set. Rourke. Good protection. Going deep 1-on-2. And almost picked. Good coverage by the Fighting Irish coming over to tip that football away. But at least they have the right idea there. Yeah. Like some people are going to root for Cody more before he became champ, and then some now are, wanting something else. Rourke, scrambling, gambling, pass into the turf, incomplete. You stink. Yeah, but even if the Chiefs don't win the Super Bowl this year, or if you lose in the AFC Championship game, you guys had a great run, and it's not over. It's not like, oh, they lose the Super Bowl or they lose the AFC Championship. Oh, the dynasty is over. They're not the fucking Niners. They're still going to be good. As long as you got Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, and Andy Reid and Spags, you're going to be fine. It's just that you might not be like the number one team every single year. The other teams are starting to catch up a little bit. Good tackle there by Notre Dame. And obviously with the Lions and all those injuries on defense, I just don't know how they're going to beat the Eagles. The only way the Lions make the Super Bowl is if the Eagles get clipped by like the Bucks or the Rams or the Vikings and they don't have to play them. But if we end up getting Lions-Eagles NFC Championship game, I don't see any scenario the Lions winning. And I love the Lions. They're fun to watch, but no David Montgomery, 17 guys on fucking injured reserve on defense. I just don't see it. Philly's got the best well-rounded team, out of the 4 powerhouse teams. If you look at them, they're kind of like the Chiefs, offense and defense, except their offense is better than the Chiefs. And their defense is right there with the Chiefs, sometimes even better with the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you're looking for balance, those two teams have the balance. The Lions, as well as the Bills, they don't have any fucking defense, right? They just have to outscore you. And, we've seen them do that, Jared Goff and Josh Allen. But if you end up playing teams that have D, like the Chiefs and the Eagles, those are the teams that can shut you down. Even if you're having an MVP kind of year like Josh Allen. That's why he's going to need help. James Cook has to be a factor if they're going to beat the Chiefs. Otherwise, if he's not, then we're going to get the Chiefs again. But if Cook is cooking and Allen is Allen, MVP this year, then maybe we get the Bills in the Super Bowl. But if the Bills make it, that doesn't mean that they're going to win it all, especially if they match up with Philly. They could, but it wouldn't be like a for sure thing. But if the Bills end up playing the Lions in the Super Bowl, the Bills will win. The Lions will not win that. Not against Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. So, but it would be a high-scoring affair, just like we saw, obviously just a few days back. We might get a Super Bowl in like the 40s. Whoever has the ball last kind of thing. But I mean, as far as like entertainment value, Lions, Bills, or Eagles, Bills would probably be the most entertaining. But again, obviously, Chief fans are going to want their team there. We just want to be able to see the offense open up a little bit more. The defense with Chris Jones, and everything that they do on that side, that's fun to watch. It's just that the offense is so stagnant. But again, since Pacheco is back, you should be able to, get back to that type of, running the football successfully. They don't got Clyde Edwards-Helaire anymore. Got signed by the Saints. Too much PTSD. We wish the best for him on his new team. and obviously not having Rashee Rice has limited Patrick Mahomes' ability to move the chains. So if they had Rashee Rice and Pacheco never got hurt, the offense would have looked a little better. Not a lot better, but a little bit better, But it's like when you go from scoring 40, 50 a game and Mahomes is going for, 40, 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, and then you get the product that you see this year, it's a little underwhelming, But at least they're winning, right? If you're a fan of that team, you're winning ugly, but you're winning. And that's at the end of the day, whether you win by 1 or you win by 20, a win is a win. And again, if the coaching wasn't good for the Chiefs, they would not have the record that they have right now. That's exactly why they are disciplined and have the record that they have, because the coaching is elite. They don't make mistakes. I mean, with all those one-possession games, there's probably 4 or 5 games that they could have lost this year, but they found a way to win late in the most strange ways. But a win is a win, right? 20-3, Notre Dame. Yeah, and then this is the coach of the year right here, Indiana, over Dan Lanning. Fuck out of here. Why would you give a fucking coach of the year? Go ahead, because it's a basketball school so that we can watch them get their ass kicked in the first round by 17? Can't even get a touchdown? That's your coach of the year? Fuck out of here. Oregon goes into the Big Ten, first year, 13-0, only undefeated season, and that doesn't deserve coach of the year? Fuck out of here. Dumb. Come on, Indiana, do something. It's like that meme with the stick, and it's got the players there. You're poking the stick. Move, do something. Come on. But again, Indiana hasn't been able to get pressure at all on the quarterback. So if that's the case, good luck. 2nd down and 8. Shotgun set. Leonard. First down, Irish. Move the chains. Yeah, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Chief, have you smashed that like button yet? Help your boy out. And, Penn State, SMU could have a similar score to this, but again, and also Texas, Clemson could have a similar score like this also. I would assume that both Clemson and SMU will have more than 3 in the fourth quarter. Thank God. But, and then we get to Tennessee, Ohio State, where that one should deliver the goods. As far as first round playoff matchup, that'll be the one that delivers the goods. That'll be, edge of our seat, we would assume, throughout the whole game. But those other 2 games on in the morning could get ugly real quick. Penn State laying the smackdown. Texas laying the smackdown. Because if you're one of the top 6 schools, that's what you're supposed to do. Just like Notre Dame is laying the smackdown to this fraudulent Indiana team. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. We need, one more like to get to the goal? And we're at, 75 to go to hit the goal on the dono train. 2nd down and 11. Shotgun set for Leonard. Handoff. Run right up the gut, because what do you do when you're ahead and you're a good team? You run the football, you bleed the clock. I like seeing the names on the back of the Notre Dame jerseys, too. Glad that they did that for this playoff game. It looks good. And I know normally they don't have the names on the back, but I think that's something that they should implement. It looks good. I get it. Some schools have that tradition of not having the name, but it just makes it so much easier for fans and the announcers when we know who the fuck it is instead of just some fucking number running around. Especially if you have certain guys that have certain, body shapes that are similar. You don't want everyone to look down at the fucking stat sheet the whole time. Leonard. Scrambling. First down, Irish. Move the chains. The biggest problem with the offense besides the tackles is your fucking coordinator. Your OC is no good. No bueno. And obviously, Eric Bieniemy got fired. Bring him back. And hopefully Mahomes at one point or another will get back to being the Mahomes that we, kind of know. But it is possible that Mahomes will never throw for, 4,500, 5,000 yards ever again. He might not ever have a stat line like he did, regardless if Tyreek is there or not. Like, maybe, we've seen the best of what we, have seen out of Mahomes already. And now he's going to be on kind of more of a downward trajectory. Like Kelsey's kind of getting older. Mahomes is getting a little bit more injury prone. Again, you got to add some more weapons, and we'll see what happens next year if Pacheco and Rashid Rice can stay healthy and if they add another piece, and they have Xavier Worthy there as well. But, I don't think anything that the Chiefs have done this year has made you, think that Mahomes is going to be a guy that's going to throw for 5,050 touchdowns. I don't see it. Floater going deep, one-on-one. Plays on down to the one, and they're rubbing salt into the wound. Bring back EB, baby. What you really need to do is bring back Tyreek. You bring back Tyreek, then he won't suck ass with Tua. He already wants out. He took his bag and took the money, but he should have never left. But that's on him being greedy, wanting the bag and wanting to, make a bunch of babies with all the ladies in Miami. I mean, the motherfucker's got like 10 kids with like 15 baby mamas. Like, calm the fuck down. You don't need to be Sean Kemp. Second and goal. No, he got fired. He's no longer there. They let him go. I mean, it's not like Deshaun Foster knows what he's doing at that fucking school. But again, it's a good opportunity to, possibly bring him back. Kansas City loves bringing back players that they let go or coaches that moved on. So if Bieniemy ends up coming back next year, that would probably be smart. Timeout. Yeah, but if the offensive line doesn't improve, and the coordinator, isn't that good, at some point or another, like Mahomes is still going to be like pretty good, but he's not going to be a quarterback you want in fantasy. He's not going to be a guy that you can really trust, a guy that went from throwing, 3, 4, 5 touchdown passes to like 1 a game. That's a pretty big fucking drop off. Like, even if you change your scheme to be a running team and a defensive team, you're still going to need to be able to sling it, but I don't know. I don't know if you're ever going to see the, elite Mahomes ever again. I hope we do, but Nagy's terrible, bro. Nagy's some dog shit. Let's be honest. You don't like him. I don't like him. Nobody likes him. He's not good. And just if you fire Nagy and you bring in EB, that doesn't mean everything is solved. There's still a lot of fucking problems on that team, even though you only have one loss, right? You got to build up the offensive line. There's a lot of things that, need to be like upgraded and whatnot. Losing L'Jarius Sneed wasn't really ideal either. You could really use him this year, but sometimes guys are going to go for the bag and they're going to go for the money. So, no, bots, we don't want your dumbass link. Nobody's going to watch your dumbass link. Okay, there's other fucking streaming links that people can click on. No one on planet Earth is going to click on some random link, ncaahd.com. Look out of here. Yeah, the difference is, though, with Brady is that Brady never fell off. Brady never turned into Aaron Rodgers, even though some people thought they would, just fall off the face of the earth. Not every quarterback is created equal, Brady, even at the end of his career, was still slinging it. And, of course, it helps when you have guys like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But still, if you look at the options that Aaron Rodgers has with the Jets, with, Breece Hall and Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, it very could have been possible that, that Brady did have that fall off. But the difference between Brady and Aaron Rodgers is one guy has an incredible work ethic, right? And another guy doesn't. One wants to do ayahuasca and he wants to, hang with his Hollywood friends and not take shit serious. And the other guy ended up having his fucking wife leave him because he was so dedicated to fucking football, and he went that route, So, just because you're a quarterback doesn't mean you're created equal. Some guys are willing to, be the Kobe Bryant, the Michael Jordan, the Tom Brady, And whether we loved him or hated him on New England, I think that he kind of changed the perspective when he went to Tampa. I think Gronk and Tom became more likable, and we got to kind of get a chance to know them and their personalities, because Belichick wouldn't really let them be active on social media and really let them be themselves. And I think that was a big reason that we ended up winning the Super Bowl, that he finally got to kind of let loose, still be strict, with Bruce Arians, but, let them be them. And it worked out very nicely for my Tampa Bay Bucks. Second and goal. Shotgun set. Keeper with Leonard. Touchdown. Irish. Touchdown. Riley Leonard. Boom. Shakalaka. 26-3. Irish. Yeah. And like I said, hopefully SMU and Clemson will bring some type of effort better than Indiana. But don't be surprised if those first two games at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. are just like this or worse. Like, even if Clemson puts up 10-13 or 10-17 and SMU puts up 10-17, what does that mean? That the Penn State Nittany Lions put up 40? What the fuck is Texas going to put up, 50? So, they might have more points on the other side, but it's still going to result in a blowout in those first two games. And then we just got to hope Tennessee, ends up, bringing it. If the game was at Tennessee, it would be better. Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, Mahomes is like untrustworthy. It's like he might not, I guess you're not going to be having the huge stat line, but also he's not going to make as many mistakes. But, but again, like you mentioned, in the fourth quarter, when it matters the most, you can't make those fucked up mistakes. And, they usually play pretty clean ball in the quarter that matters the most. No, you're good, bro. It's not like Indiana is going to score some points and I can talk about them. We got to talk about something. And they play tomorrow, so it's relevant. It's not like we're just talking to talk, We do got some NFL games on tomorrow. We got Texans and Chiefs at 10 a.m. and then Steelers and Ravens at 1:30. And I probably will say that we're going to start off watching and getting excited for SMU, Penn State, and Clemson, Texas. But at some point, we're going to flip the channel or watch both, and then we're going to tap into Texans, Chiefs, and Steelers, Ravens, because those will be closer than what we're going to get out of those first two games in the college football playoff, more than likely. We'll see if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to get. We'll get blowouts in those first two games, but hopefully it ends up being close for at least a couple quarters before it ends up getting a little out of hand. 27-3 Irish. Yeah, I mean, even though it's a blowout, I'm still having fun. I mean, college football has been great this year. Having a college football playoff or not, I mean, this is an exciting time, for football in general. And college football this year has been better than the NFL, overall, excitement-wise. And again, the first round, sometimes in the NFL, like wild card, this type of shit happens, where you end up getting a blowout, right? But once we get further into the next round, every matchup moving forward, after the first round is over, everything is going to be must-see TV. Anything could happen. And I think that's really what we're excited about, is that in the second round and on, anything could happen. There's no guarantee Oregon wins it all. We could play Ohio State if they win, and we could lose. And then if we beat Ohio State, we could play Texas and lose. And then if, we get past those two schools, Ohio State and Texas, we might play Georgia or Notre Dame in the Natty, and we might lose. So there's no guarantee, but I know it's going to get better. This is just the first round. It's going to get must-see TV. And it'll probably be better than the NFL playoffs this year. Unsportsmanlike. Yeah, 12 teams, and again, eventually we'll get to 16 because we have, over 100 Division I schools. Like, how do you have 100 Division I schools and only 4 teams are in it? Stupid. Like, the NFL's got 32, and we have 14 teams going to the playoffs out of 32. How do you have 100 colleges and you have 4? That was just dumb to begin with. And they're greedy as fuck. So if you end up having more games, what does that mean? More money. For people that are greedy, they should have gotten this format years ago, for the greedy asses that just love money, right? Like, what took them so long? I mean, greed doesn't disappear. Once you're greedy forever. Like all the billionaires that are out there. Rich keep getting richer. And for all of us in the middle and lower class, we're fucking struggling. Well, after watching this performance, the college football committee should have made Miami this position instead of Indiana, because Miami with Cam Ward and Damian Martinez would have put up more than fucking 3. They probably would have lost, but at least it would have been fun. Rourke? Keyshawn Williams, first down, Hoosiers. I feel I've only said that like a couple times today. Trips right. Shotgun set. Rourke. Rourke is very like robotic in his like delivery. Like, there's nothing smooth about it. Very robotic, staring down. Texas, Clemson, Texas, Ohio State, Tennessee, Ohio State, Penn State, SMU, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia. Who knows? Penn State, and Boise State. We would assume Penn State, but if Genty goes off, they could win. And Boise State's defense has been pretty good. Flag on the play. I mean, if Bama was in it over Indiana, at least they would make it better than this, It's like, in that regard, for all those Bama fans that were pissed that they didn't get in, I mean, they would put up better stats than some of these teams in the first round that we're going to see. They may lose, with Milroe, but at least they have enough left over in the Saban era before the new coach came into Bower and before these guys transferred out and left. They still had enough talent to be better than Indiana. There's no way in hell Alabama would be at 3. We know that for sure. But trial and error, this is the first year, of the college football playoff and the committee. And to have a 9-3 team over an 11-1 team. But again, it's about strength of schedule. It matters, And now seeing this 11-1, they thought, oh, this is great. Not when the game is 27-3. Ooh, big tackle. Yeah, Colorado and Miami would have been much better than this Indiana team. Facts. I mean, since they gave Travis Hunter the social media Heisman, and Genty deserved to win, but, it is what it is. Travis Hunter is more marketable. I mean, you should have already known when Lil Wayne was sitting there. They already knew that they were going to win, so. Two-minute warning, 27-3 Notre Dame. But even though it's a 24-point blowout, it's still better than a lot of NFL games. Yeah, but the thing is, they wouldn't be able to rig because they're not good enough to even make it to the championship. They would have been good enough to get into the tourney, and then maybe they win, maybe they lose in that first game, but There's no way that they would, they don't have Saban. They don't have the same players anymore. All they have is the school name. It's not the same team anymore. It's like Michigan with Harbaugh. They're not the same anymore. I'm just excited that we have a college football playoff. It's about time that, more people pay attention to the college game. Just like, do you like playing Madden or do you like playing college football? We didn't have college football for 10 plus years and now it's back and it's a lot faster and more fun to play. I haven't got a chance to get my hands on a next gen system or play, but, college football is always going to be funner. The gameplay is faster, and that's really what it comes down to. What product is better? I mean, normally the NFL is better than college football, but this is the first year that college football has been better than the NFL. The referees, have kind of, soured some of the fans based on their calls or no calls this season, and I think that's why. If the refereeing was better, then it would be still the NFL. But college football is closing the gap. But since a lot of the bullshit calls, no calls, I think that college is, as far as entertainment value, has been a little better. Oh, incomplete. He got his hands on it, but couldn't come down. Third down and long. I mean, at least when they played Ohio State, they didn't have three. But also, you have to give credit to Notre Dame's defense. Spectacular today. I mean, if Indiana played a dog shit team, I mean, they would be able to put up points, right? But Notre Dame is one of the top 6, top 5. So when you end up playing a team that's for real, sometimes you get fucking stomped. Well, your mom will get used to seeing the Ducks having success as long as Dan Lanning's there, because we're going to be good for like the next 10 years, as long as he's there. Hopefully a natty or two as well. Tipped incomplete. I mean, I know for a lot of y'all that have been in the Big Ten your whole lives as fans, probably not ideal seeing a team from the West Coast take over the division, but it is what it is. They wanted to bring in 4 teams to make the conference stronger, and 1 out of the 4 ended up being the best. And you reap what you sow. You want us to come, then we take over. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, he couldn't even get into the fucking end zone. Are you kidding me? Oh, he did. Touchdown, Hoosiers. I don't think he got in, but I think they just gave it to him. They're like, fuck it. These guys have been getting their ass kicked. Just give it to him. Did he actually get in? And he fumbled it at the end there. Look at the pylon cam. Let's look. Nice little juke. Pow! And he reached over. Okay, yeah, he's in. Touchdown, Hoosiers. Yeah, baby. Here we go. It only took him until a minute 39 before the game was over to score. Give him the tutty. Everyone loves tutties. Yeah, but at some point, if Notre Dame joins the Big Ten, it'll just be like Oregon. Then it's just going to be like hell for everyone else. Ohio State will not like it. Michigan will hate it. Penn State will hate it. And then if you're a team like Washington or USC or Iowa or Wisconsin, you really fucking hate it. Because then it'll just be another good team taking their spot. So, and at some point, if they're going to join a conference, it's going to be the Big Ten. It's either they're going to be independent forever, or they'll join the Big Ten one day. So. A lot of the teams that they have, are already rivals in the Big Ten anyways, so it would kind of make sense. You already got a natural rivalry with USC and, Michigan and a few of these other schools. 2-point conversion. 2-point conversion is good. 27-11 Irish. Tell me I'm wrong. If Notre Dame joined the Big Ten, you think a lot of those other schools would love it? Oregon and Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State, we don't give no fucks because we're good. We don't care. That's just another good team joining the party. But if you're not one of the top 5 teams, you're like, oh, fuck. Because then that's another loss on your fucking, schedule. It's like, you're already losing to Oregon and Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State. And then here comes Notre Dame in the Big Ten. Oh, you're fucked. 3-0 all-time versus Notre Dame, all decided by 7 or fewer. Could this be the year that Notre Dame clips the Bulldogs? Carson Beck is ass anyways. So, but the problem is that Riley Leonard is too fucking slow, and the Georgia defense is going to fuck him up. So it's like, I don't really know. Yeah, you can end up beating Indiana, but Georgia's defense is like one of the best with Oregon and Texas. And if Riley Leonard can't fucking run away, like, how are they going to score? Like, honestly, you know what I mean? Like, you might be able to get some scores. Onside kick recovered by Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Riley Leonard was faster, I would feel a little bit better about it. But if they lose, that's going to be the reason why, because Leonard is too fucking slow. He's not a bad quarterback, but, I'm not sure if he's going to single-handedly win you a game. It's going to be more Notre Dame's defense. That's what wins you the games, not really Riley Leonard per se. All right, Indiana, they're really trying to make it a game now. Now, if they get another touchdown and another 2-point conversion, then it doesn't look that bad. 27-19 actually looks like we had a close game. All right, shotgun set, trips left, fucking throw a Hail Mary and go for everything here. First down and 10 off the onside kick, recovering. Rourke, who's not very fast either. Slow as shit. Caught from behind. Nice tackle by the Irish. And Georgia's defense got some NFL players, too, that are very fast, sideline to sideline. And again, if Georgia, ends up beating Notre Dame, even though the previous matchups were 7 or less, if it ends up being more than 7, it'll be because of Georgia's defense, 100%. But Notre Dame got a pretty good defense also. So it'll definitely be a defensive battle with Notre Dame and Georgia. Second down and 12 on the IU 48. Yeah, that's why I feel like the champion in college football is going to be like Oregon or Texas, because we're the most well-rounded. Defense, offense, coaching with Sarkisian and Lanning. To me, those are the two best. And Georgia's pretty close. It's not like they're that far behind. If Georgia actually had a better quarterback, then they would be right there. But I would be shocked if Oregon or Texas doesn't win it all. STL is a countdown. 1 hour and 4 minutes, 1 hour and 3 minutes, 1 hour and 2 minutes, 1 hour and 1 minute. Got to take a shower. 1 hour, 59 minutes. Got to eat something. 58 minutes. Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. Slang those packages. Yeah, and if you actually look at, Dylan Gabriel's numbers against good teams, he hasn't thrown a pick. He's been so good. Ohio State, Penn State, if you look at like the top tier teams, that we could have lost to, Boise State, like we didn't make any mistakes in the fourth quarter. Like if Gabriel would have fucked up, yeah, we would have lost one of those or more. But he's the only quarterback to play like elite teams and not fuck up in the fourth quarter, which is pretty surprising for a guy that probably won't be a very good NFL quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. But he's a damn good college quarterback, and that's all that we need. But I really think Oregon is the best is because of situational play calling. We don't fuck up. We know every rule in the rule book. Like I said, it's all about execution. And there's going to be times where, the other team plays well and we have to try to punch back and recover. But last time I checked, we only had one undefeated college football team, and that's the Oregon Ducks. But 13-0 doesn't mean shit if you don't win the Natty. It's like for teams like the Chiefs, it's Super Bowl or bust. If you don't win the fucking Super Bowl, it's a failure. And that's the standard that Dan Lanning has, shown, for the kids here at Oregon. We're gonna go all the way or it's a bust. Like you can still have a successful season, but you got to have that, kind of Bill Belichick Patriot mindset. You got to go all the way or it's a bust. And you got to crawl before you walk. And those two losses to Washington last year with Bo Nix by 3 is exactly what we needed to learn from that bad experience. And, going forward on fourth down, not taking field goals when we should have, and cleaning up those bad decisions that Lanning made. And we can still be risk takers, but we don't have to be like Dan Campbell for the Lions, where it's going to come back to bite us in the ass. So you got to learn from your mistakes. Somebody's got to represent from the Pac-12. Someone's got to represent, for the West Coast. Huskies started the journey, and the Ducks are trying to, finish the deal. But if Oregon would have made the Natty last year over Washington, we wouldn't have beat Michigan. The same thing that happened to you guys would have happened to us. Superior run game, superior defense. It's just a little bit too much Michigan last year. So I imagine that's what teams think of Oregon this year. Oh, fuck, too much Oregon, And it's like the first time ever Oregon actually has a defense like an SEC team or a Big Ten team. It's like our defense is just as good as anybody's in the country, and I've been dreaming of that for my whole life. So, finally, after 30 plus years as a fan, it's actually coming, true to life. But the job's not done yet. Oh, this game is just going forever. Did we hit 20 likes? Hopefully we did. And we're at 25, 75 to go. Help your boy out. Man, I am hungry. Fuck. I still got to fucking take Paisley on like a 30 to 45 minute walk. Discipline, discipline, discipline. You either got it or you don't. You pushed or you don't. You grind or you're lazy. Grind, grind, grind. All right, 4th down and 1 on the Notre Dame 41. Come on, refs, hurry the fuck up. Oh, doggy dog is hungry. I gotta fucking take Paisley on a walk. Come on. Man in motion. Shotgun set. 4th and 1. 1st down. Hoosiers. Move the chains. Rourke. Goes out of bounds, short of the marker to stop the clock. Like, Indiana is like set on getting a touchdown and another 2-point conversion. Like, they're literally trying to do anything to not get embarrassed in the scoreboard. They're doing anything and everything to get to 18 or 19. So it looks like they actually just lost the game in the 4th quarter. Unless you actually watch the game and realize that they got their ass kicked the whole game. Trips right, shotgun set. Rourke. Run, run, run. There you go. 1st down, Hoosiers. Move the chains. Yeah, and our defense was better than yours last year. This year, our defense is better. Like, Huskies had a good defense, but not on the Oregon level this year. Shotgun set, 2nd down and 10. Rourke. Floater. Touchdown, Hoosiers. Where was that in the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter? But hey, better late than never. Omar Cooper Jr. with a tutty. I told y'all they're doing everything in their power to get it to 27-19, so it looks like they didn't get their ass kicked. Told y'all. I told y'all. I know football, man. I watch football so much. It's like I can almost game script on what, is going to happen. Not all the time, but and now they're going to go for 2 to try to get it to 19. I got the ESP, baby. What you know about ESP? Your boys got it. I mean, even losing by 10 looks a hell of a lot better on the scoreboard than sitting at 3. Trips right. Shotgun set. Same play. And complete. They ran the same play they did on the other 2-point conversion. Can you be a little bit creative? Fuck. But at least they got to 17. It would have been nicer if they would have got to 17 in the first half, but I guess better late than never. Good defense there by the Irish. Now, if we could have just got this kind of fight from Indiana in the first half, then, maybe they would have lost 27-23, 27-24, 27-20. But, Notre Dame is the real deal. But I do, like I said with the announcers, I do admire Indiana just not rolling over and fucking just giving up. Because a 27-3 final looks embarrassing for the first game in the college football playoff. You want to get people excited for the games tomorrow. But again, don't be surprised if you have a couple blowouts in those games. We should get at least one good one in Tennessee, Ohio State. But I'm still going to watch everything. I'll watch, Chiefs, Texans, Steelers, Ravens, and I'll watch SMU, Penn State, and Clemson, Texas. I got a scout. Kneel down is complete. And there it is. Final score, Notre Dame 27, Indiana Hoosiers 17. Definitely ugly for a majority of the game, but at least Indiana fought. So it looks like if you didn't watch this game, it was a little bit closer than expected. But the best team won, and that is Notre Dame. Nice job. 12th win this season, ties a school record, and then they play Georgia in the next round. And Notre Dame actually has a chance to win that game. That second round matchups are going to be lit. Nice job, Notre Dame. Well, shout out to all the people that liked, subbed, donated, commented, shared. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Again, final score, Notre Dame 27, Indiana Hoosiers 17. We'll be live tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific for Tennessee and Ohio State. Make sure you guys wake up early to watch the NFL and the other college football playoff games. SMU Penn State at 9 a.m., Clemson and Texas at 1. And then you obviously have the Chiefs and the Texans on at 10 a.m., and then the Steelers and Ravens at 1. So make sure you guys get your football in your system, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific for Tennessee and Ohio State. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.